We are live, everybody. Um, oh, hold on a second. As you can see, I am running the show tonight, but I do
Wait,
have.
I'm here too.
But I do. Well, I'm in the captain's chair. This is
Yes,
the
you are.
captain's chair. Um, Sorry, we were a few minutes late. I had some. Well, it's Boston. You know, I'm always a few minutes late. I'm going to start by just saying hi to you wonderful people in chat. We've got Luke. Nice to see you. I still owe you a conversation. It's been so busy since we got back. The Kach, Brienne, Beezy, Hillary, Carrie, that guy, Thomas, Facebook user. Thank you. The intro I cannot take credit for. All of those graphics and everything is Chris. He's very talented. But thank you. Philip, Justin, it's so nice to see everybody. We may have some new people in chat, so I want everyone to be welcome to them. I know this is our horror channel, but we are going to be talking a lot of different topics tonight, and one of them being the paranormal. Something that we need to address, clear the air in the paranormal world. So I'm sure we'll have some paranormal people in chat joining us. So make friends, be nice. Don't kill each other down there, please. So yeah, I think that that's probably what we're going to start off discussing tonight, because we do have a guest who has agreed to come up here and hash things out, and just clear up any rumors with us. So we'll start there, and then afterwards we'll go into a recap about TransWorld, some updates in the McKamey Manor universe, and all that fun stuff. Um,
McKamey Manor universe. Did something happen?
well, I don't know. You tell me. Um, so I'm gonna try to find a way to explain this story the best I can to everybody who has no idea what I'm talking about. But as you guys all know, Chris and I'm really explaining the story to Brandon too, because Brandon is
Yeah.
not in the paranormal world like Chris and I are. I think you're paracurious.
Yeah, I'm not a ghost tickler. Okay. I'm not a ghost tickler. I'm not not a skeptic. Well, I guess maybe
You're
I'm
a healthy
20.
skeptic.
Yeah, I'd say I'm healthy skeptic. I believe in ghosts. I'm a religious person. So, but I've never done ghost tickling. I've never, hollered at ghosties or anything. I've always wanted to, and I've been trying to get y'all two to come to Texas to go
Yes.
and do some ghost tickling. But
That it's
one day.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Actually, at TransWorld, I did have my some paranormal equipment with me, and I did have my spirit box, and I wanted to get you under Estes to see, and we totally forgot. There was one night at the hotel. I was like, "Let's talk to ghosts." So, anyways, we're getting sidetracked. So everybody knows that Chris and we do have a separate channel called Haunted Road Trip, and about 2 years ago, we kind of stumbled into the paranormal world, right? We started off just thinking it was going to be fun, something to do, a fun vacation. Didn't think we were actually gonna, and we were probably like Brandon is, healthy skeptics, but like wanting to believe maybe. And we were shocked at the results and what happened. So we did a trip. Again, it was a little more than 2 years. I think it was 2 summers ago. So then the next summer, Chris and I had decided he was going to come out to the East Coast again. Because let's just be real, like the Midwest, Texas, whatever, all over the country. Yes, there's haunted places all over the country, but New England is kind of the hot spot in general. And at the time, Chris and I were volunteers for Get Haunted. We worked with them on a few, like it was more me. I did a few events with them, to help run events. They are a paranormal event company. And then Chris and I together put on an awesome show called Girls versus Boys. We helped put it on with Get Haunted. It was this whole production, and it was a blast. That was down in West Virginia. So, long story short, we hear about this new location that we had never heard of called the Enfield Demon House. Turns out that they actually, like years prior, had been featured on a few paranormal TV shows. I believe they were on something on the Travel Channel. We didn't know much about it, but it was in a place that it was suggested that we check out. So Chris was already in New England and was like, okay, well, let's add that to our list of places to go see. We invited our friend Joe, who is with in chat right now. Actually, sorry to call you out. Joe R said hi. Yeah, Paranormal New England. And Joe invited two friends. So there was two people we had never met before. Great people, though. We had a great time meeting them. So we went to this location, and Jamie's here too. Jamie is one of the people that was there with us. So we went to the location. I'm going to leave a lot of the details of the story for when our special guest comes up. I don't want to make them wait too long. But like any location you go to, sometimes you're not going to have paranormal activity, right? So we went, and it was, for us, it was a complete dud. And that's not something that, like, I think any of us wanted to publicly come out and say, because maybe it was just us, maybe it was just we went and we didn't get those vibes. We didn't feel there was equipment going off. There was things that happening. We felt that we could find reasons why all of those things were happening that were not paranormal. So we just we kept it to ourselves.
Well, can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
Well, so I used to watch this ghost tickling show. It's called, what was it? It had the bald dude and they were plumbers. You know what I'm talking about?
Super Mario Brothers?
No, not Super Mario. No.
I don't know. I don't watch any of the ghost shows. I really don't.
Oh. Well, one of the things that they said is that there's often these places that like to call themselves haunted just to bring in tourists.
I mean, that is very true. I'm not going to say one way or another if that is true about these people. So here's what happened. So at this location, it is this family's home. So of course we want to respect their privacy, and we don't want to go out there and publicly say anything bad about this location. That's how we felt. This was back in July.
So this wasn't like a hotel or something?
No, so it's the family's house. It's a duplex. So the family lives on one side, and then the other side they rent out for paranormal investigations. Gotcha. And if you guys want to know more about the history of the house, per the family's description of it, you can go check it out. It's the Enfield Demon House. Anyways, we didn't have a great experience. And we left early that night. We did book an overnight, didn't end up spending the night. And we didn't actually go live from that location, Stacy. And we left, right? That was July. In September, there was another paranormal team that went. One of their people had asked a question about, do we know what's in the attic? And I responded just I was watching because it was the world's greatest ghost hunt, or the world's largest ghost hunt day, September 30th. It's like an annual event where all these different teams go live from all over the country, and it's really cool. So I left one comment on that live, and had no idea until very recently that the people that own this house have been saying things about me, Chris too, and our friends that were there with us, that aren't true. So I know rumors can come from all different kinds of places, and I finally addressed some of them publicly on their YouTube, because they had made a video. My name was brought up once again, and I said, listen, you've publicly said my name quite a few times, things that aren't true about myself. You've accused me of faking evidence, said I'm telling people there's wild attack rabbits in your attic. Let's clear this up and let's do it publicly. So I am going to send the link right now to the homeowner. Give me 1 second. Let me just forward this link. Okay, all I can hear right now is the Poor Things music. I hope you guys can't hear it.
No, I can't hear anything.
All right.
I'm just trying to figure out why anybody would say anything negative about Miss Boston.
Well, I think, in my opinion, I'd like to hope it was just a big game of telephone. But from what I've heard, um, there's other things that have been said. I think it's a lot of confusion. I think it's a lot of confusion. And thank you, that guy. Yes, we want everyone to please be respectful in chat.
Well, what if they were doing some ghost tickling and one of the ghosts said something that wasn't true about you?
So, in my personal opinion, and I'm sure they won't have a problem with me saying this because they have said before that, you know, if people do have a bad time, you can say something about it. Again, we chose not to say something about it, or talk about it really at all. Other than, of course, between the people who were there with, like, our friends that were there in that group with us. And I would think that they'd be okay with me saying, in my opinion, I don't feel like the location does have activity. Maybe it did way before, and then the house got cleared somehow. But that wasn't really even the problem we had with the location necessarily. I think what happened, if I had to guess, and I hope that this person's listening, I did send them the link. Let me send a quick message.
Well, let me ask you this. While you're doing that, just to get your opinion, like I stayed at a hotel recently that they said, I recently stayed at this old hotel. It was the same one that Cary Grant stayed in. And anyways, you know, one of them big fancies. And, you know, they've had ghost ticklers there before. And they said that it was, you know, all sorts of haunted and whatnot. Well, I slept like a baby. I didn't hear nothing. Now, is it possible to go to a ghosty place and one night, you know, maybe they're just playing Xbox, right? And then other nights they won't, you know, they'll come move your little rods or whatnot. Is that possible? Maybe you just picked an Xbox night or something, or
it's possible, but again, that's not really the thing that we had the issue with.
oh, okay.
The issue was more finding out afterwards. Oh shoot. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna try to send this link a different way because
It's not working.
Owner couldn't get it. Her name is Elkie. We had asked to speak with Jay, because that is the person that I personally have heard say these things about me. And Jay has decided not to, but his wife has decided to come up. I do want to note that they do state that the business of this location, again, it's called the Enfield Demon House, that it's run by their daughter. Their daughter is under the age of 21. We may have always had like a clear rule here that you need to be 21 or older. It means no disrespect to the daughter, of course, like young entrepreneurs, woohoo. But I do hope again that this conversation we can clear up with Elkie. She's the homeowner, and hopefully she can speak on behalf of Jay as well, because yeah, especially for their daughter, I think if a young person is starting a new business or trying to make it in this field, it's really important to clear up stuff like this. I'm just gonna say it as we wait. I sent it a different way, let me see. But I'm just gonna say some of the rumors again that were said about me. One being that I was let go or fired along with Chris. I don't know if Joe's name or Jamie or Tyler, the others that were with us, who, like, Jamie and Tyler never even worked with Get Haunted. I don't know if their names were brought up as well, but the rumor that is being spread about us publicly is that we were fired and let go from Get Haunted because we were known to fake evidence. So that's a pretty big one. That's a rumor that, as a paranormal investigator, that's like a big deal. You don't want that kind of thing going around. I'm sure that the Enfield Demon House owners would understand that because they're in the paranormal world. And it's a big deal if someone accuses you of faking evidence. There's a difference, though, between faking evidence and debunking things. And hopefully that's something we can talk about. Yeah, rumors do suck. The weirdest one was the one about these rabbits. Hi, Joni. Yeah, we're going to get to the TransWorld recap. We wanted to get this done first because we invited a guest up. And I'm going to check back in because I still don't see them. They're saying the link is not working. I know they've been up on several other panels. So I don't understand why there's an issue.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with getting fired. I mean, I'm not saying that you were. I mean, I got fired from Dickies.
From where?
From Dickies. Y'all, you ever heard of Dickies Barbecue?
No.
Yeah, I got fired from Dickies Barbecue in September of 2001.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I kept breaking glasses. Well, I accidentally broke a couple glasses and I couldn't do math in my head. So I got fired.
Well, that's silly. I would have been fired too if I worked there.
It's okay. I didn't.
But yeah, we never technically, I mean, we didn't really work for Get Haunted. I mean, they were our friends. And I volunteered for them for some time, and then we decided to like do our own thing because we just didn't get much out of like the event company part of it, but like we didn't get paid or anything. Yeah. So
what did
Enfield, Connecticut. Yay, I think I see her connecting.
What did Get Haunted do?
They're like an event company, so if you wanted to go, especially for like new, I mean, people that have done a lot of investigating, go to them as well. They're great. But basically, rather than solo investigating a place, you sign up to go to an event, and you get to go investigate. They like teach you how to use the equipment and walk through you, or like kind of run the investigation with you. And then you get some solo time to explore. So it's just a different way of doing paranormal investigating. A lot of people don't do solo paranormal investigations because it's so expensive. You'd have to book, this whole place for yourself. So it's a lot better to go Boston. All right, there's Get Haunted. All right, Elkie, I'm going to add you to the stage. Let's see if your audio is working. Hello, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're breaking. Your connection is not the best. Yeah, and I am assuming it's not me. Brandon just stepped. Okay. If you're still listening, try one more time to come up here. Could you hear her just now or did you step away? Brandon?
No, she broke up pretty bad, bless her heart.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So if anyone in chat, so hopefully she tries the link again.
So they're an event company. So do they sponsor them, or do they put them on, or do they just find the locations?
They put them on. Yeah, they put them on. If anyone we've talked about them plenty of times before, especially on Haunted Road Trip. Brandon put too many glasses, very late. Hi, Gabby. Yeah, so if you are interested in events, they mostly do East Coast, but they definitely have some like Midwest locations that they do, more than an event company. That is true. It's a network. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Do they offer the ghost tickling little doodads and the little hoot nannies?
Some equipment, yeah. Oh, there's definitely some equipment for sale, but it won't let me do anything. The wheel is just spinning. All right. So I don't think that this is going to happen, unfortunately. I think it's your internet connection. All right. So you can try one more.
I might have to check. I might have to check them out. If they have a website, if you're in the chat, if you can put your website on there, I'd like to check it out at least.
Yeah, Get Haunted. No, okay. Yeah, so I don't think this is gonna work out. Chris because they really
What's
have
going
some
on? Yeah,
some beef.
this is like
Chris was told not to come.
I was told that I wasn't allowed on my own channel.
Well, it was because
Oh my goodness.
they had some beef with you.
Me? Who has beef, Brandon?
Yeah,
Does this face here ever
Yes.
have a beef with anybody?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I guess we just have to talk then.
She tried.
She tried.
I mean, to be fair.
She had a lot of heart.
Yep, and she is saying she's sorry.
Well, you're forgiven, Elkie.
The wheel is spinning. It's
Thank you, Susan.
So, we're still, we're going to talk about this, and she is welcome to talk in chat.
Yeah, she's welcome to talk in chat. She's welcome to move where she actually has internet service to come up. There's all different things you can do that will work.
Yeah, sorry guys. I didn't think there would be an issue because they were in another podcast on like Friday. They've been on a lot of different stuff, so I figured and Boston was super classy. I was, but
yeah.
I hate to break it to you guys, but this asshole is here
Other
now.
side. Move to your place.
Hey!
You can host this one.
I was hosting
I know
one.
you did so good.
Thank you. I don't want to host it now. I'm scared what you're gonna say.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. We have so many people here that want to know like what was said. I think it's
I gave like the very littlest because I was hoping that she could come on and we could address these rumors. But either way, she's listening, so hopefully her and Jay can listen.
Oh, good. Jay's probably listening.
I hope so. And they can get the truth of the situation. I did tell everybody in chat, I kind of explained to them that, I don't know if you were listening, but I explained to them that we went back in July. We didn't have a great time. We kept it private. I made a comment on somebody's on Pen Paranormal's live stream when they were at the Demon House because somebody on their team asked.
I watched all that, and we have proof of all that.
Are we going to show the proof?
Yeah, so Brandon, thank you for being up here, buddy. You're always welcome to stay if you want, but I know that you were saying you were going to probably peace out. No, he had said he wanted to peace out.
I'm old, but I'm interested. I'm invested now.
Okay.
He needs to know about the tickled ghosts.
Yes, I want to see some tickling in action. Let's do it.
Yes, but Brandon, you can leave whenever you like. I can leave whenever the hell I want and leave Chris Apparel by himself.
Yeah. So
right, please okay, what's the beef now? Oh, I'm like, how do you know their names?
So
sorry.
Real quick, let's show some screenshots because what we do here at Horror Road Trip is provide receipts. So originally, was my text message from Jay before you made your comment on the live?
No, you mean when he contacted you?
Yeah.
Out of the blue?
That was after.
That was
right?
that was in like November.
Okay. All right. So
and the live happened in
let me play part of that live.
And then the comment that I left?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to open this. This is part of the other person's live.
Can you guys come back in here? I don't know why.
So it may be hard. Yeah, it's hard to hear. I can't turn it up any louder. But there's a person upstairs talking, which it may sound muffled. They said that they heard something above them.
They said, do we know if there's anything in the attic. I just heard something above me. And then she goes, I don't know why. And he says, because I just heard something above me. So I do not know this paranormal team. It showed up on my Facebook suggestions as probably because I was following the Enfield Demon House at the time, and they had promoted this live as well and shared it. But it showed up on my suggestions. I had never heard of the woman. When I left this comment, didn't know anything, just like was bopping around all night because a bunch of different teams were doing investigations on, again, the world's largest ghost hunt. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I participated in it with the Warners the year before.
So let's keep on the track with it, and this is the comment that you left.
Yes.
The upstairs attic is finished, and they use it as a room for their rabbits. When we investigated, they told us that if we hear banging from above, it's most likely the rabbits hopping around in their cages. Just a FYI, I heard a team member ask, "What's up above?" I think that's fair, because we were there and we said, "What's above us?" just in case, so that we can hear some noise. And what was the response that we got?
So I will explain exactly how this happened. We had just sat for about 2 hours and got like the whole history from Jay and his wife Elkie, who unfortunately couldn't make a connection tonight, and daughter were with us. And then after we heard the whole story, they all took us on a tour. So Jay was up. It's a very small house, especially, again, you guys remember it's a duplex, so it's like the side, a split. I don't know what you call that. Is that a duplex?
Duplex. It's a duplex.
Okay. Or townhome. People call it different things, different places. But so we're upstairs. It's a very narrow hallway, and Chris is with Jay there's like a little tiny bedroom in the back, and we're all trying to hear Jay, but we're in the hallway because it's so small we can't all fit in that room. So in front of me were Jamie and Joe, Tyler, Chris. Behind me were the daughter and Elkie. And I turned around because, as any paranormal investigator, when you're on a location, especially if people are going to be staying there, again, the family lives on the other side. Right on the other side of the wall is that family. He had previously told us during this 2-hour story about how in the attic, like his daughters once had bedrooms in the attic. I don't know if they still do. But his daughter, the attic's finished. That's where my daughter's bedrooms were at some point. Seriously, why are there bunnies up there? Right. So I turned around because, again, I couldn't hear Jay. Partially I was bored, but then also I was like, hey, is there anything like above us that we might hear while we're investigating that we can rule out as like not paranormal? Because, again, I knew from the story that Jay had told us that the family, it used to be just one house, and they turned it into this duplex. He's done all the construction himself or with, contractors. So I asked about the attic, and she said, well, and I can't remember if she said part of the attic is still her sister's room, or if it was at one
the
time.
Mom's crafts room.
She said the part above our house is like a bedroom, but then over here, and she like vaguely pointed towards the smaller bedroom, like up above, is my mom's craft room. She won't go up there, like, while you guys are investigating, so you shouldn't hear anything, but there are rabbits up there in cages, so if you hear like thudding or whatever, it could be the rabbits. So it's like, okay, good to know.
And just to be clear, Elkie, Jay, you have the link still. Like I said, you can move to another location, and please.
She said she's still working on it.
Okay, cool. Fan-fucking-tastic. So this happens. Boston tells her story. Boston mentions that on that live, and months later, I get this text. Hey, Chris, do you know what happened the night you were at the house in the summer? I did you a favor because I was told you were get haunted. I let you in the basement only because I thought that you worked with Rob and you were part of his team. That just sounds creepy. I let you in the basement. The next day, they had called and wanted to know what the heck happened at the house. We had to pull out the pictures that we had taken that night of everyone, and that was in the house. I'm very sorry for this grammar, and I don't know if this is speak to text or just writing of an insane person. Rob said that he's going to take care of it, and then he apologized and said that he will take care of it. Rob is one of the owners of Get Haunted, and a person I still talk to, because guess what? We have no beef because we weren't fired. They put on events. I enjoyed their events. So I don't know what Rob would handle. I mean, I even we hung out with Rob the next day, and everything was fine.
We did an event. Technically, I worked.
You volunteered.
I volunteered.
Volunteered.
Right.
We're going with volunteered because you weren't paid to work for Get Haunted. You were a volunteer, right? And I tagged along and just kind of hung out at a Conjuring house.
And it was amazing.
So the next thing I know is that he said you and Boston are no longer part of the team. And this is why I'm contacting you now, is because I know you know Boston, and Boston has been spreading awful rumors. I do not know why, maybe for self-recognition? Is this what you're doing, Boston? You're trying to get that
self... Let me address the chat real quick. Let me put up this comment real quick, because I'm glad that it's not just... I've been sitting on, like, for months being like, so wait, because again, he contacted Chris in November with this. And then Chris, of course, told me, and I was like, what? And I had to think about it. I had to really think about it. And I was like, oh my God, is he talking about the only time I've ever mentioned them since we left in July was on that one live where I just was helping the team out and said, hey, if you hear noises up there, it's rabbits. Yeah. And I'm glad that there are people in our chat who understand that would be what's wrong with that? Self-recognition?
We have so much more, guys, because this only gets more and more crazy as it goes. Which I wish Jay and Elkie were here to help.
She said she's trying. She said the daughter's not there. So
bless her heart. Bless her heart. Maybe a demon messed with their internet service. And this is why, you know what? I
love how Brandon's just hidden.
That's the most paranormal thing about the Enfield Demon House is the shoddy internet service.
I think that might be,
okay.
From our experience, let's always preface that.
Anyways, I do not know why. Maybe for self-recognition. I'm not sure what. Here's what I know. Guys never ever went into the attic. We showed you the basement. Because of Rob. I had a huge meeting the other day on the phone with Get Haunted. All of his people swore up and down that we showed you guys the attic, and that Boston is saying that we had wild rabbits in the attic. Now remember, right now it's only wild rabbits. Just please remember that. They're just wild rabbits.
People keep wanting to know how many rabbits, which we'll get to that.
We'll get to it, but
it's
very important that we emphasize. I mean, 5 in the kitchen.
I think there was like 3 in the kitchen. So if there was more upstairs, I don't know.
Well, either way, so let's just remember, currently, these are wild rabbits, right? This is very important. They are only wild rabbits currently. Because it gets crazy. Oh, I lost my place? Wild rabbits in the attic, and then I see you, Brandon. I see you.
And he's all blurry. It's like a little demon ghost down there.
Yeah, it's more paranormal than what I experienced myself at the Enfield Demon House.
Yes.
And
I don't know who this is, but yes.
Yeah, Rabbit Gate. It's a serious matter, folks. Rabbit Gate is huge. That she swears by that they were in the attic and she saw them. She's even went on a live stream with Mary Jo was there, and she said that. Now, at the time, you don't know who Mary Jo is, right? Like, have you pieced together that was the stream you randomly clicked on?
No, because I didn't remember. I was literally just scrolling through Facebook, watching different teams live. We're still pretty new to the paranormal world. Like, even to this day, I don't know a lot of the names,
So-
big names out there.
Time of this, you no idea who Mary Jo is, right?
Correct.
Even though
and
that
just so
apparently,
the chat knows, we have found out.
yeah,
like
we're
whatever,
getting there.
6 months later,
We're getting there.
who she is.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
right now, at the time of this text, we don't know Mary Jo's a real person. We don't know, and the way that Jay writes, I don't know if this is Mary and Jo, or if it's
Yeah.
Mary Jo. I mean, because there's no use of punctuation at any point in time.
Yes. He
Um,
currently is saying that me making that comment in the live
Yeah.
was a plan Mary Jo and I had, and we talked about before Mary Jo even went
Yeah,
and did
let's-
this investigation. So
Let's not jump too far ahead.
okay,
Okay, here is the centrist.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
I mean, I know what a
Was-
centrist is.
Was he saying the
but
clitoris?
a
Did he think that he found it?
A centrist.
You guys
is
somebody-
were. Hold on, stop. Brandon is still here. We need his dictionary mind. What is a
Centrist.
centrist? It is somebody who is not on the left or the right. They're in the center, correct?
All I heard was clitoris, and I got distracted. So
Okay.
Put him
Brandon's
away.
going back to-
Put him away.
You guys were never in the attic. And if I knew you were with Gust of Get Haunted, you were just Gust of Get Haunted.
Guess.
But he said Gust, and he capitalized it. I would have just given you the keys to investigate. Rob had told me everything, that you had an awful time and that there was nothing there. You weren't haunted. That is fine. He sounds like Willy Wonka, kind of. Good day, sir. Goodbye. You
well,
lose.
I mean, it's your voice. Let's be. Good day, sir. Goodbye. Let's be real. You're the one Willy Wonking it, but I don't hate it.
I mean, that's how I'm feeling when I'm reading this. You are entitled to your opinion. I can't seem to find Boston. If you see her, let her know to contact us. I guess that guy Joe and that girl with the rainbow hair. So we have Rainbow Bright with us.
Is Rainbow Bright still watching? Rainbow Bright, if you're still watching, identify yourself.
And we are still talking. Oh, wait. Joe and Rainbow Hair are still talking. We were at Paragon in October as vendors, and the girl with the rainbow hair came up to Joe and said someone else and said, "Oh, you don't want to go there. It's awful. It's not even haunted. It was there." And then I'm trying to let this all go, but it keeps popping up. So now I have to go confront everyone.
So this was November 20,
Mm-hmm.
right before Thanksgiving?
yeah,
probably.
Also up top, I didn't read the last part up top. I'm not really sure why you were the only team out of 200 that started that, but that has caused a huge fight. They all say Boston.
They all say Boston.
They all swear
started
she
it.
was in the attic. She was you guys. Never, ever up there. We were really nice to you guys. So please call if you see Boston. Tell her to contact us.
Right. So he sent this to me back in November, and I laughed. And was
Did
like,
he send that to you in November? Or you're saying I
he,
sent that?
meaning you. You were
Oh,
like, hey,
yeah.
FYI, remember July?
So I got too much fucking shit going on in my
Right.
life for this guy to message me looking for Boston. Oh. Yeah, nobody puts Boston in the attic. And if you know me, if you come at Boston, I'm probably going to come back at you.
Right. They're very upset at your response, but I feel like
Who's
he came
upset at my
me.
response?
They have mentioned
Oh, Jay? Because they
the
blocked
family.
me?
Maybe, I don't know, but they said that you like attack them here, which you get a little salty, but in
I get a little
his
spicy.
defense, I feel
Okay.
like this came out of nowhere in November. We visited in July. We
Yeah.
had a bad time. We never talked shit about them, and now I'm being accused of all this stuff I never did.
Yeah. So
So-
this was my response. Okay, first and foremost, Jay, I'm not the type of person to be coming at with this stuff like this. I'm not your buddy. I don't support your location. If you have something to say to someone else, be a big boy. Do your homework and reach out to them. Don't come to me and ask me to. I don't do this paranormal bullshit drama, and that seems to revolve around you and your location. Don't act like you did us any favors to... What are you cringing at?
You.
What? I'm just reading.
You told him to put on his big boy pants?
Yeah, I told him to put on his big boy pants, and I'm telling him again because hopefully he's watching. Don't act like you did us any favors to go to, and I did. I had so I'll make fun of my grammatical here.
Right.
And then go to Rob and say, I strong-armed your ass to go see the basement. I asked once and I asked politely. That is how it went. We were in the hall.
Very true.
So what are the chances of us seeing the basement? And he was like, you want to see the basement?
Yeah, because Rob was like, he doesn't plan on, it's the only way to get to it is on their side of the house. So like, he's not going to open that up for guests, but feel free to ask. Because technically this was before like the official start of like the Get Haunted bookings there. Brandon's like, I'm still.
And so Jay's like, to me, he's like, so you want to see the basement? I got to check with the boss. And he's like, hey, boss, looking at Elkie, he's like, you want to see the basement? Can they go in the basement?
Yeah.
And she was like, eh.
They were very nice.
And then we went to the basement.
They were very nice.
You're probably not getting a nice text message.
I was also willing. Oh, hold on. I got a message. I stopped trying. I told you am not joining a making fun show. Well,
I'm not making fun.
To be fair, we're making some jokes here and there, but it's because
it's called
that's
content.
who we are.
Yeah.
I was willing also to show you our evidence, but I don't go on this level. Have fun, Elkie.
Okay.
So Elkie, I appreciate that. I
was going to show you the evidence. We got all the evidence of okay,
things.
We'll get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. So let's blow through this part. What?
Can I ask a question? Yeah. Who's Elkie? How is she?
Elkie is the wife. Elkie is the one that was frozen in time on the live for a few seconds.
But that's her house. That's her rabbit house.
Yeah, she has the wild rabbits. What?
Okay.
I just got a nice message from someone else, not related. Okay.
All right, so
when can we wrap up this second? Bow chicka bow wow. This is what we're talking about for the moment.
It's gonna be a minute.
So it's gonna be a minute. There's some really funny videos if you stick around.
All right, so can I please just
sorry.
This? So don't.
I think everyone else is enjoying it.
Don't act.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye, Brandon.
Bye, Brandon.
Y'all
love you. Thank you.
Have fun tickling ghosts.
Yep. Okay. We're getting through this, Boston.
Yes. We've given this link to other people, so if any of those people want to come up, you can always do so.
Okay, so don't act like you did us any favors and go to Rob and act like I strong-armed you to get your ass to show us the basement. I asked once and I asked politely. Me and Boston leaving Get Haunted was our own decision and did not have anything to do with your visit to your location. As for Boston spreading rumors, well, she isn't. If you want to lie and say what she said wasn't facts, that's on you. We're basing our knowledge of the rabbits in the attic off of what your daughter, now owner, told us when we were there. When we were in the small bedroom, we asked what was above us so that we knew what we could be paranormal and what wasn't. Your daughter told us that this was the half of the house is my mom's craft room. We have cages on the floor with rabbits. We sometimes let them free roam. If you hear thumping, it's probably them. We later saw the rabbits in the kitchen, so that just helps validate you owning rabbits. Boston never once said she went up there. There was never a time that we said that we were in that attic.
Never.
So if anything, it's you.
I never said anything to anyone.
Similar to spreading the rumors of your location actually being haunted. I am 100% convinced this place is a fraud and a scam. You claim the upstairs bedroom furniture moves. Well, guess what? The beds are on rollers. I saw them myself. An EMF. All right, this is another key note. EMF, right? EMF, remember this with the wild rabbits, folks, because it changes. any EMF spikes that we got just so happened to go off whenever the kitchen ring camera turned on. A ring camera, I should add, that was not mentioned in any of us prior. Cameras inside this location should be disclosed to the people.
Sorry, I'm not trying to do that.
Okay. Should be disclosed to any people paying to stay the night in the location. That's a major privacy issue. The light fixture moving in the upstairs bedroom, that can be chalked up to rabbits in the attic. The thumping on the stairs again, noise traveling down from rabbits in the attic. The pictures that you showed us were all long exposures and had nothing in them paranormal. In the 2 hours that we sat and had to listen to this rambling, we were given pictures, and these pictures all had like long exposure waves. It's like, do you see the spirits coming up? No, I see a long exposure. It's just either a shitty camera or you don't know how to use a shutter.
Right.
The shitty wiring in your basement creates what people call a fear cage, right?
Oh God, that was horrible.
A fear cage, from the extreme amounts of EMF coming off the wires, this gives the feeling of anxiety. Now let's get into the public records of the property that don't go past the 1800s. This place is called the 1771 Enfield Demon House because it's supposed to have been built.
Online records show it was built in 1924.
Yeah. So we couldn't find anything from the 1800s, along with the death certificate of the people that you claim died in the house. What, the one person died on the street, right? So maybe instead of lashing out at people who want nothing to do with you or your location, you should focus more on the story you're trying to tell. Also, newsflash. This is not Get Haunted behind you losing patrons. It's the fact that the paranormal community talks to one another and we're all seeing your location as a scam. And then I got blocked.
No, didn't he call you and then block you?
Yeah.
Because I was on the phone with you. And you're like, oh.
And I was like, oh, he's calling. And then before I could answer it, it was hung up and I was blocked. So I don't know if it was a butt dial.
Keep an eye down below. Because we're getting a guest.
Oh, okay. Depending on when we get this guest, I want to show the video.
Yes. There they are. Shit. It's going down.
Do I know you? Did you fire? This son of a bitch fired me.
This is crazy. Oh, I'm so sorry you're up here. I'm so sorry you're getting... So, just so everyone knows, this is our dear friend and co-owner of Get Haunted, which has been brought up several times. Owner or co...
cut you off.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. And we're trying to leave him out of it, but sounds like...
Yeah. No, it's okay. No, I had you playing, and then I'm like, why am I hearing double here?
Okay.
That's scary.
Hi, guys. Long time. Yeah, so I started getting messages, right, about your show here, as expected.
We have another person asking for the keep
this
talking.
all needs to end. This all needs to end. It's ridiculous at this point. Yes, Christina, your rabbit comment created
my name's
a
Boston.
shitstorm for me.
I'm Boston.
It did. But what I want people to know, right, because it's not the thing for me that sucks is, being labeled as a faker is not cool. That's not cool. I don't know where some of this comes from. It looks like there are pieces of different stories being put together, and it's just not okay. It's not okay. And this has been a battle for me since we stepped away from that place. And so everybody knows, yes, Chris, the next day, I think, well, Jay called me the next day and was like, they had a horrible time. This and he's like, they went out for food and then they left and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. He did say, he was like, Chris was really persistent about going into the basement. Right. And look, as a business, we were business partners at the time. I was helping them out, and so the whole world knows. I didn't take a dime from any of that. We were trying to help get them to a point where they could take over the investigative piece, right? So we're helping with the bookings and whatnot. So long story short, yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm sorry if you felt pressured, right? Also know
Right.
Chris, right? I do know Chris, but I think now it's being said that we were best friends. I've heard that I sent you in there. Oh, now we've got
we got
more.
Well, I mean,
right?
we've got 3 witnesses.
But I'm just tired of the threats. I'm tired of seeing people get smeared, including ourselves and my business partner, and get haunted. But no, I never fired you guys. You never really truly worked for us. You were kind of satellite folks, right? After Girls versus Boys, Christine and I met at the Conjuring House on my first time back. I loved her, right? And we started talking, and you guys kind of latched on, and we're sort of this by proxy part of the team. Then Girls versus Boys happened, and you guys did an amazing job that we probably didn't thank you enough for. And honestly, I thought that was why you guys left. Oh shit, you got
Danger's in chat.
yeah,
Joe's
danger here too.
So many new faces. Real quick, Rob, I just want to say to our chat again, you guys know what it's like in the horror drama universe that we're all in. There is something called paradrama, and that's what we're covering tonight. Sorry, you can continue,
Rob. Yeah, so yes, of course, I apologize if he felt pressure that day, and I did talk to you about it, right? I think I remember talking to you about that. And then it wasn't long after, right? You guys up and left, right?
Yeah.
Now, I was also just told, like, now I know why Joe was there. I don't know what the fuck any of this. Can I curse on this show?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what any of this means now. So I'm just tired. I'm tired of it. I don't think about these people. The only reason I have to is because my name comes up. Your name's now coming up. It's just ridiculous. And these conspiracy theories and things that keep getting thrown out there are absolutely ridiculous. So I need you two to know, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you ever got tangled up in any of this mess, because it's ugly. Hi, Joe.
I mean, thank you. It's not
another person that was.
But,
you were there that night.
I
was not there that night.
I got a question. If I got fired, can I get like unemployment?
You want unemployment?
Yeah.
Chris, he's gonna double your paycheck.
That's right. I will personally double what you were being paid. No, I mean, this is just absurd at this point. And I've had multiple phone calls with these people trying to smooth this over. The whole rabbit, I never thought a rabbit could be a bigger pain in my ass in my life. And I think at that point we were not really talking anymore, Boston, come September. And yes, world's largest ghost hunt.
By September, yeah, because I think I left shortly. I probably like in August. I think Chris left like in July. I left maybe like a month later. And it had nothing to do, like, honestly, we just knew the Hulu documentary was coming out. We had a bunch of other stuff that we needed to start working on. And the whole like event, I just liked investigating when I could. And I didn't want to feel like I was like letting people down and had a bunch of shit going on with my mom. So it was nothing personal.
No, I get it. And I remember asking you, and I remember talking to Chris, right? Being like, dude, did something happen, right? Did we miss something? But here's my problem. My problem in all of this is that my name keeps coming back in, and I get these friggin' messages, and I'm just over it. I'm over it. And I'm not going to sit on my hands anymore. I try to run a business, and I try to be professional, and I try to not get in anybody's way. Nobody's way. Go find me a public post where I bash anybody. You won't find it. Go look for one about me. You will. You'll find it if you look hard enough. It's fucking ridiculous at this point. not from Chris.
I just want to say the same thing. I never said anything bad about the location. I never posted anything bad about the location. I didn't say anything to anybody at a Paracon about the location. So I'm not even sure why my name's getting brought up at this point. I was a customer. I paid. I investigated. My job as a paranormal investigator is to debunk. So that's what we all did. We went in. We debunked things. To Chris's point, the thing that really pissed me off was the fact that they had a Ring camera with a microphone. I don't mind. It's your house. You want to watch to see if I'm shoving something in my pocket, that's fine. But to turn a microphone on, I mean, that's just bad business.
I mean, because like, let's be honest here, we didn't have a good time. We've said that at the very beginning of the live. We had a bad experience, didn't like the place. Didn't think that there was activity or that it was haunted, debunked some things pretty easily, and then maybe a smoker wanted a cigarette or two on the porch before we left, and we may have talked some shit. But who doesn't? Who wouldn't have? And it wasn't.
There was another Ring camera. They got that.
So I'm just saying, like, an invasion of privacy was crossed, and then now here comes along in September this other group that ends up having a very similar experience, because again, I've never talked to Mary Jo, and I hope Jay and Elkie are still watching. I didn't talk to her until 4 days ago. I think it was 4 days ago. Have not talked to her in my life. She messaged me and said, I hear your name. It keeps being brought up. I don't know how you're connected to me and these rabbits. Let's figure out what happened. And so we shared stories. That is the first time I've ever talked to this woman in my life. And now her story is that she also, things were said in her little group, and she's saying that, I don't want to share a lot of it because I know she's going to do her own thing, but that essentially they knew things that were not on live recording. They knew things that they only would have known if they were watching and or listening to their ring cams.
Yeah, see, for me, that's a whole separate thing, right? Like, whatever happened there, happened there. I was long gone by that point. And it was tough kind of being in this position. You guys came in and we talked, right? You did not have a good time. Another group went in the next week and they had a good time, right? And I was like, okay. And some nights nothing happens everywhere.
Right.
In the Conjuring house 17 times. There have been nights where I'm like, fuck, I could fall asleep right now. Like, this is just nothing.
But this is where my problem was, Rob. I'm fine with not having any experience happen in a location. I've been there. That's happened. It's the roll of the dice, right? But when things happen, when a ring camera is watching you, or when we're told things move and then we see how easily they can be pushed because they're on wheels, that's when I start saying to myself, I'm being played. I'm being played because I paid money to go to a place that was told to be extremely haunted. And what I'm seeing is a ruse, right? That camera came on whenever the EMF would spike. And could it be the camera turned on making it spike?
Real quick, because I hope we still will have time to show that part of the video. Would even be great with these guys up here to do that. But he was trying to say that, like, okay, so here's the ring camera. He like picked up the ring camera. Oh, I wrote spoiler on it. I'm a really bad spoiler, so I have to write notes to tell myself not to spoil things. Okay. Here's the ring camera. Here's the K2, right? He said that we went like this and that it lit up. And he's like, but you should know that, of course, these pick up the electricity from, and I'm like,
it was across the room. The ring camera was all
paranormal investigators. And that it was across, it was in the kitchen. Yeah,
we were in the living room.
All right, so here's my thing with that piece, right? Like, I wasn't there, and I'm not here to say anything other than the pieces I know, right? And the pieces I know are, you guys went, you did not have a good time.
Told
other
you,
people
obviously.
have gone and have had good time.
Yeah.
But how the hell this all turned into what it is today? And so it's an actual literal shit show inside of a community
Oh.
that's already kind of turned into a shit show, to
Poop has been
constantly
mentioned.
bring up this, to bring Boston's name in, right? And when I heard this event company thing, I'm like, wait a minute, like there's different pieces of different stories being put together.
100%.
I was literally accused of sending you three. I don't know, Jamie. She was there with you, right? Was there 4 or 5 of you? I don't even know.
Tyler was with us too, Rob.
Okay,
Yeah,
Tyler.
Tyler and
I
Jamie.
I know Tyler. I
Yeah.
didn't know he was going. Of sending you in to destroy these people. Like, those were words that were used. Like, I sent you in like
Right.
mercenaries, and I don't know what else to do, guys. But your reputations should not be put on the line here. None of you. That's not.
Neither should yours.
And I think we're at the point where, like, again, we've known about that he was saying this stuff about me or us since November. But I think we're at the point where, like, we're realizing the stuff about you is being said, the stuff about Jamie, the stuff about Mary Jo, who, again, I don't know, just talked to her for the first time 4 days ago, but still, anybody who is being attacked, like, if we have a voice, let's stand up, right? And let's get the facts straight. And
Well, that's
we
what's
welcomed him
happening,
on
right?
here.
Because you're getting this weird division that's happening. There's people that are
Right.
jumping on one side. Here's the big problem, guys. Just like every other thing in life, people love the dirt. They love the gossip, right? So, and there's an endless supply, it
Right.
appears, coming from here. So what it's doing is it's hurting people. It's hurting their reputations. It's hurting businesses, and it's completely unfair, right? And I'd love to have a big old round table and have everybody that's had something good or something bad there to talk this shit
Yeah.
out.
Let's talk it out.
When we walked away, I was just done. I'm done. Like, the promise was, we're going to try to get you to where you can take over events, right? Because stepping back into the paranormal, kind of scary right now. Had no idea it was going to go this way. No idea. But the more I started seeing things towards the end there, the more I needed to step away. And I'm glad I did when I did. But I'm done being accused of things. I'm done getting these weird messages. I'm done hearing my name on lives. Done hearing your name on lives. I'm done hearing Joe's name on lives. Anybody that has kind of come and gone that I'm friends with, that I know about, has had their name brought up somewhere. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm over it. For your sakes, Boston was never. I've never seen Boston do more than observe on events, right? Let alone fake it.
I do the Estes method, and
no. Shut
No,
up,
as
Danger.
it's all
Shut up,
Rob's
Danger.
fault.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No, I get what
What
you're
I'm
saying.
saying
Like,
is,
how would I think?
like, you're not out posting like evidence, and you're not doing the whole YouTube demon thing. You're just not.
No, I don't even
And Joe,
personally.
listen, Joe's
believe in the
fucking.
keyword.
How old are you now, Joe? Joe's been doing this for like 90 years, and the dude is
92 to be exact.
Yeah, he's well known. He's one of the most low key guys in the paranormal,
Yes.
right? And all this, the drama,
Which
and
is
shit.
why I wanted to invite him in the first place.
Yeah.
Seriously, because Chris had never met him before, and I was like, I love investigating with Joe. And Chris was coming out. I'm like, let's invite Joe. So then Joe gets the invite. Joe invites some, like, 2 friends, because we're like, let's split the cost. Everyone does that. You find people to split the cost for a location. You go in and have a good time, That was all it was.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, right? None of this. I didn't even know they were doing this today. I called Boston today, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening?
What's going on?
And I said, like, how the hell do you know? Right?
I said, who wait, what were you told is happening? Because I don't know how that even got. I simply started messaging privately with Elkie, I guess, because I had made a few comments on a YouTube video, which I would like to watch at least a few minutes.
Yeah, we will.
Okay. And made a few comments, finally just breaking the silence and being like, look, this is getting a little silly. Maybe we should talk, and realized I was talking with the daughter. Then I felt uncomfortable because I guess it's her business, which I will respect that, but she is still, she's a teenager. and hasn't been the one. Maybe she said some things, but it's really her father. It's really Jay that has been saying
Yeah, he's
my
the
name
one.
over and over. Yeah,
Well,
so I wanted to give this platform as like an option too, since you say everything about us publicly. Why don't we just hash this out
that's the thing,
publicly?
right? And I personally and Sarah have sat quietly for months,
Mm-hmm.
months,
You really
while
have.
taking punches.
Yeah.
And now it's you guys, and now it's just it's stupid, right? The fact of any of this, the fact that you that what you said on that live, right? I mean, I was blamed for that shit. What you said on that live really should not ignite a fire. It just shouldn't.
I
Like
just don't get why they weren't like, yeah, like,
I'm blown away by it.
and I guess what happened after was their live got shut down, but they were saying it was for other things that they were saying inappropriate. And
I
I'm like,
don't know. I don't
it's
know.
just crazy. But the way
I
I
don't know.
look at it from the brief conversations that I had with Mary Jo in the past day or two, I was like, let's get this sorted out, because what it sounds like to me is the crazy, confused, twisted lies that have been said about us here. I mean, there has been some things said about her and her team too, and I have to just assume that if we know these were lies said about us, then that's probably happening to this other team too. And it just needs to stop across all surfaces.
It just needs to,
with
everybody
anybody.
needs to just go back to their corners and be quiet.
Right.
And I wish I
right.
had the time to be this much of a sinister being. I don't, because we're planning the first annual Supernatural soiree on the battleship New
yes.
Jersey. It's a Halloween themed party for not just the paranormal community, but also for the horror community. Sorry, shameless plug.
It's
Y'all
okay.
need to
What is
come.
it? www.supernaturalsoiree.com?
Yeah.
That's the website.
Danger's asking a question here.
Are y'all gonna allow them to?
And punch in the code Enfield for 10% off.
Stop it. Stop it. I had nothing to do with that. Stop. So there's a lot of crosswires,
people
folks.
are, but sure.
Yeah, I would love for somebody that's on Jay's side besides his teenage daughter to come up here.
Right.
So that's it. I was sitting there watching this, and I'm like, I sent a message in. I'm like, bring me on, because I'm tired of seeing my name. I'm tired of hearing my name. I'm tired of seeing
we all are. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
completely ridiculous and uncalled for.
It's somebody that thinks they're relevant in the paranormal community, trying to get ahead of a bunch of lies that they started in the past.
I think you have a crush.
Hey, that guy,
Don't fill this guy's ego with his fucking microphone.
Listen, I paid a lot for this microphone. I got to pay this one. No, look, guys, I'm not here for anything other than to set the record straight about you two, Joe's, and lumped in there. My experience is my experience. Yeah, this was a relationship that went south, and I'm just over it. I'm over it. We don't spend time talking about them, none of it. And Jamie's right. This is it's toxic drama, and it just, if everybody would shut up, maybe it would go away, because the problem and the reason it persists is because there are consumers of it. The consumers are there, and it's like ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no,
I had to
frustrating.
say that, but
well, and it's what happens is, and this happens for our people that are regulars here. This happens in our community here as well.
I've heard
there is something very, very real called hate bonding, right? And so even if people maybe agree that this house, these people aren't running their business in a great, nice way, they're gonna support them and have their backs because they are attacking somebody that they don't like. And
I've experienced that. There was
fake friendships, and it's all.
Yeah,
for
I've experienced that
else's.
already with this, and it incites other people to just do stupid shit. To the point where now, like, there was a comment made with my name, and then one of my haters, and I have a few, jumped on and was like, "Whoa, hold up, what did Rob do?" Right, and then it becomes, other shit, and it's just like, dude, give me a break. But just know, you two, well, I don't even, you guys know the truth. For everybody watching, you were not fired. You actually were never really on board, but you were there, and we loved you.
And like you said earlier, it was more because I couldn't do very much because I can't drive very far, and a lot of your events weren't like up here. So when I could, I'd try to go help at an event. I loved working on Girls versus Boys, and then Chris lives in Michigan.
I just showed up for free shit every now and then.
Chris is like, I want that.
Hold on. Can we?
You wanted that mag light.
Can I share this link with somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, hold on.
No.
I think we should watch with everybody on panel and just.
I don't think everybody wants to watch. I mean, I may be speaking for them, but I don't
watch what? What are we watching?
Jay's live.
The bit where it wasn't a live. It was like he went through his house with a laser pointer and showed evidence of what her team did and then what our team did. And it's funny.
Okay.
In my opinion, it's hilarious. Who's this? We experienced that.
Oh, Jamie. Yeah, we've never met. That was another thing, right? And yeah, we do have some common enemies. We have not met, Jamie, and that was a whole nother thing. I'm like, I don't know who that person is, right? Well, you kept calling her
Rainbow hair.
Rainbow hair.
She is rainbow
Which
hair.
confused me because my hair at the time was like pink and blue. And I was like, well, that's two colors of the rainbow.
Well,
and hers
I did.
Was like
I really,
when
they first said that, I thought it was you because her hair is crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Joe and I have talked about this privately since the nonsense started, right? A couple of times. And we both kind of took the same stance, right? It's like, just ignore it. Everybody loves to throw out ignore it. Well, I have been. And it's not helping, apparently, especially with the shit that's coming through on my phone. So,
Are you getting shit right now?
I was. Yeah.
I mean, I don't crawl out from under my rock very often, right?
When I got the message
But I'm
from you,
crawling
send me a
under
link. I was
this
like,
is ridiculous. I'm tired of it. of it. I mean, he's not bashing me as much as he's bashing Rob, Mary Jo, and you guys.
Well,
but still, I don't want my name brought up at all. I was just a customer.
Boston's team, so just so you know, it was
She's
my
your
team.
boss. That went to her head.
And you guys are below me on my team. That's what he says. Boston and her team. I'm like, it was just like like we just all got together. We had just met. Like I had never met Tyler or Jamie before. Chris had never met all three of you. Oh, is this it? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, is there someone backstage?
Oh, there is.
Bring his ass up.
Oh.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
What's going on?
Nice to meet you, Danger. I have seen you. I have heard a lot about you.
All good things, I hope.
Welcome to welcome to.
I was waiting because of the pause there.
She's like, let me get back to you on that.
I have to check my notes. Welcome to Horror Road Trip, where we don't talk about paranormal things. I don't know why we put this on.
I'm glad to be here. I talked to Jay earlier.
Okay.
Why is there an echo?
Earlier today?
I think
there is an echo.
it's Danger's connection.
It's my connection.
Talk again. I didn't hear it that time.
Do you got the live open somewhere?
I do not.
No, I don't hear it.
I don't hear it anymore.
It was Rob's fault.
Did you? So you said you talked to Jay?
Yeah. So tonight, when probably right around the time Rob started working with them and helping them out, I was also able to help them with some things that they needed. So like I created their whole trade show setup.
Right. Yeah.
Print shop. So I do large format printing, dye sublimation, all sorts of shit.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, there's like
so It's not an echo. It's like,
Every word
do you
comes out
have like a
twice.
setting on your mic for like if you were like rapping, maybe? It's like a
No.
It's like every other word
It's
comes
like
out
every other
twice.
word comes out twice.
It's weird.
It's cool though. It's
Really?
like this cool stutter effect. Yeah.
No.
Let me mute.
I mean, I can still understand what you're saying, just not bothering
Yeah.
me.
Let me. Yeah.
Does he have the Facebook Live along with the StreamYard?
No, and that's not what it is. I can tell that's not what it is because it's not like an echo of our voices. It's just every few
Just
words
his.
you can hear his voice repeat itself. Some weird AI shit going on with the audio. Someone said must be demon.
It
We
must
both
be
clicked on it at the same time.
Pac-Man. How's that? Is better?
Yeah, so,
For
right,
right
now.
now,
So yeah, I just when I start talking, it'll going. Right.
yeah,
Right. Going,
it's
going,
happening
going,
again.
going,
It's
going,
fine.
going, going, going,
That's
You
good.
did that on purpose. Going.
Yeah. So I met them and I did their whole trade show setup and everything for them, and I was helping them with the website and working with them. No, I also run a site called Haunted List, where we review
Haunted
locations.
list.
Wait,
Haunted
what's
list.
it called?
Haunted list, not hit list. Haunted
Okay.
list.
Okay.
Haunted
Sorry,
List,
the mic.
yes.
The mic did its thing.
Or the mic did it. Maybe I change the mic. How's that?
Yeah.
Change the microphone. Don't
Mic-
make fun of my thing.
microphone. It does. It sounds like it's like.
Get your shit together, Castro.
How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
It's fucking StreamYard. It's y'all's shit. Anyway, so so I was working with them and you know I run Haunted List and we review sites and stuff like that. So Rob, I was delivering some stickers that I had made for Rob up, and they were at the Enfield house there, and I went there I thought, and it was a miscommunication on my part more than anything. I thought we were going to investigate. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to go investigate this place because I've heard really great things about it. And I'm going to go investigate it, bring Rob his stickers, and then we'll get to do that. Well, it wasn't an investigation, so we weren't able to investigate. But I wrote a preliminary review on Haunted List.
That I didn't know about. I didn't
Which
even know his friggin' website was coming.
I read that, and I'll be real with you. At the time, because we had just had our like horrible experience, I was like, ew, because you didn't totally. At the time, I was like, come on, you know this place.
Well, because I put in there that I thought I wanted to give it like a good, you know, the old college try, right? I didn't.
Yeah,
We weren't
were
able
honest.
to give it. Yeah, and to me, it wouldn't have been a genuine review if I wasn't
Mhm.
able to investigate it fully. If I was there for 8 hours and you know we were able to debunk everything, of course I would put it on there. But we were there for a couple of hours; it wasn't even really a thing. So I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Mhm.
Right? I didn't bash it. I didn't trash it. So it was cool. But you know, I know Jay is a veteran, and you know he's difficult to talk to because he can just talk, right? And
Right.
but I don't, you know, you don't hold that against him, and I'm still like kind of neutral in the whole thing. I like Elkie, great lady, makes some really cool arts and crafts stuff. Mackenzie's a nice young lady, and she is trying, you know, to do this business. You know, I think they're just a lot of it's misunderstood. You know, I attempted to sit down with Jay and go into it because there's a lot of history that is you can look it up and it's not exactly accurate, right? Compared to what he puts out.
Which we did after the fact. We found a lot of stuff after the fact.
Right. So I have, you know, for me, my biggest thing was I looked at the National Register of Historic Places, right? And I still have.
You've got it.
I still have this printout. It's the National Register of Historic Places.
Okay.
and it has the address there, and the
Mhm.
reason why the house was built, right? Because it's the whole area.
It's
Homes
the
were
whole
built.
area.
Yeah,
Correct.
the homes were built for a factory that
Mhm.
was there, right, to house the workers. But I think one of the biggest things, and in my attempts to try to help them so they can get the accurate history out, so they don't run into these roadblocks, right,
Mhm.
is to maybe explain. I understand that your property here, it says it was built in 1870, right? So how do you oh, it's the National Register. I've got every
But
home that's in there.
but it's the same address, but that
47.
physical structure that is on that property now, that physical house was built in 1924.
The original structure of that home was built in 1870.
Correct.
The foundation of it, right? All that. What it is now is completely different than what it looked like
Right.
before, right? Evolution. It's the times,
Of course.
1870. So we have to figure out where the 1771 number comes from. And he did have an explanation for that. And if you asked him in his kitchen, there's like a tall stack of papers that he's gotten from the courthouse and stuff. And he's had, talks and he'll pull out all the records. I think the issue with that is a lot of it is handwritten based on his interpretation of what he's been told, and not a lot of the stuff you can validate, right?
And as we can see, I think an issue is that things come into, and it's with all of them, with the whole family. I've noticed this. They get bits of information, and then it's not necessarily like, in my opinion, I don't know if it's purposeful lying or just that they're getting this information and then it gets mixed up.
Right. And I don't think it is. I don't think it's intentional at all. Just going off the conversations I've had with them, they've been on a few television shows. Johnny Zappis has been out there and investigated. They've had, really well-known people in the field out there that can vouch for this location. There has to be something about it. However, right, I have had no experience there because I don't think I gave it a good go. You guys didn't have a great experience. There has been some experiences there, but as you guys know, in this community, if you go in with a group full of people that believe 100% everything is paranormal with no skeptics in the group,
that's
then
what
every bump in the night is paranormal, right?
Right.
Every crack in the wall is a demon, and you have to have that skeptical side of it in order to debunk and to go in there with a clean head, and so I don't think, like I said, and I really only came here because I don't particularly enjoy watching people get slammed online, right? Which he has participated in some of that online, and there have been other people that are out there that shouldn't be. They shouldn't be bashing people, but they are bashing people on not cool. When no one's there to themselves, from my perspective, right? And sorry you had a bad experience. From my perspective, I don't think it's intentional. I just think they might be misinformed about the history of it. And I think they need to take a little bit more of a skeptical look into a lot of the things that goes on in there, because they all believe and they're not very skeptical themselves.
100% agree with you. I'm gonna say, as far as how you feel about, like, so we did invite them to come on. I said absolutely not to the daughter, and that is just simply because she's still a kid.
She's mine, right.
We're not cool with that. Cool with her, she whatever, but we're not gonna have her come up. We sent the link. They had a bad connection. As far as bashing them or like,
I've been bashing.
He's been bashing him.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't. Maybe I didn't. I hope I wasn't meaning to say that you were bashing. all
No,
the other stuff going on
in general, yeah. No, I
right.
got that. I'm explaining like where for us personally, where we're coming from at this point is that it's a little more than just being misinformed. When you are a location owner, you are a business, and you are going online and you are making videos accusing someone of having explosive diarrhea in your bathroom and wiping themselves with your hand towels.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Accusing
that's not.
people of spreading rumors about special forces rabbits in the floorboard. Like, come on. Those
Ninja
are things you can handle with people privately, and try to get to the bottom of it. And yes, he did message Chris, but he messaged him the most insane accusations. And so we just ignored it for months and months and months, and we're at the point where it's like, he's not stopping.
Well, and yeah, I agree, right? And all those other things I can forgive and overlook, right? If they're misinformed about the history and the
Right.
belief systems have them feeling a certain way about
Mhm.
everything. It's the behavior. It's this behavior that I'm just done with, right? Again,
Right.
like my name comes up. Now your names come up, and it's this weird cycle. Mike, your names come up. You
Yeah,
know,
because I think I was the one that asked them about if they had rabbits or if they had any animals, you know. And,
Yeah, why did you ask? So I'm so curious how this all started. So, did you see the comment that I made that
no.
we showed earlier? Okay, Chris, can you pull that up real quick?
pause for what? Just 1 second, though.
Yeah.
Right. But no, even after, Mike came up with me, I was at the house that night. And then it wasn't what Mike hoped it would be. And it
Mhm.
also wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So Mike left. Right. And I felt bad because he drove 4 hours to hand me stickers. Right. I felt bad
Oh
about it.
In the
man.
rain,
In the rain, uphill. And
both ways.
Did you go to Conjuring House after at least?
I should
It's
have.
so close.
No.
You should have.
Yeah, that's right. He was supposed to come. And then I had no idea Haunted List was I didn't know. Mike's not like, I'm not his business advisor, his lawyer, anything. Next thing I know, Haunted List is, and I didn't yell at him, but I'm like, dude, like a heads up would have been nice. Cause when that came out, which wasn't long after Mike was there, it was like, oh, I got that call. Again, that's where the joke, it's Rob's fault comes from. So Mike made a website, had no idea that was going to be a thing, right? And then he was there, and then so I can get how that looked, but then to not take anything I say as the truth and then run with it and turn it into, well, Rob and Mike are trying to destroy me, or so and so is trying to destroy me, and then it's just one after the other. I'm done with it. So no more
He doesn't
being quiet.
realize he's destroying himself.
Oh,
Right? Because none of us said, well, I mean, other than Danger's review, none of us said anything publicly.
Never.
well,
I had
here's
no
Posted
intention
anything,
to.
here's what
And-
Boston said publicly.
Yeah, I want Danger to see. That's what I said publicly, and this was September 30th on the world's greatest, is it greatest or largest ghost hunt? Largest ghost hunt. It was on Penn Paranormal, Mary Jo's team, and I had no idea who she even was. It just showed up on my Facebook feed. I was scrolling looking for different investigations. Somebody in her team, when I clicked on the live shortly after, yelled down the stairs and said, "Hey, do we know what's in the attic?" And she said, "I don't know why." And he goes, "'Cause I'm hearing noises above me." And I leave this comment, and that was it. And here we are, how many months later?
We got Mary Jo going to be here in a minute too.
Mary Jo's coming?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm out.
So the reason why I asked, because I mean you guys were there, he's got a fucking 900-pound dog on the other side, right? He's got a big dog. It's like big German Shepherd,
he does.
right?
Sorry.
Danger,
See, this is the kind of stuff.
Told me today you spoke badly about me to him. I don't think I've ever said anything about
You guys have never even met. That's the weird stuff.
I've never met Jamie Gordon. I've never met Jamie Gordon. I think the only loose connection that there was between that name and myself was a little spiff I had with a person that she knows, Larissa. that he was also thinking was behind something. And I'm like, well, she hangs out with Larissa. Maybe that's the case. I don't fucking know. Right? That was it. That was it.
He takes
all
the
it takes.
little thing, right?
That's all it takes.
Oh, you saw my comment?
Like, look, I've never met this person. I don't have anything good or bad to say about this person. I don't know this person. Right. No.
But that's all it takes. You saw my comment, which was simply, did you read that and think there was any ill intent there? Other than to answer a team's question when they said, do we know what's upstairs? And I happened to be there a few months earlier and knew.
No, but their response to me asking if they had rabbits, and here's the reason why. They have this big German Shepherd over there, right? And prior to us,
a little dog though. Where's the big German Shepherd?
I think they have a big German Shepherd.
Yeah, it was outside when we were there.
Oh, so they have 2 dogs.
So prior to us going there, I went to a place called the Delaware Mortuary Museum to investigate with a friend of mine, Vlad. Right? And they have 2. I've never seen rabbits this big. 3 big rabbits, and we're down in the basement, and all we hear is thumping, and we're like, "Fuck! There's somebody walking. There's somebody walking above us," because they're like you can hear them fucking taking regular human steps, like going to the fridge and grabbing a beer, and they're big.
What is up with these bunnies and haunted places?
I don't know, but and so I know that there's reports of lights moving and you can hear walking, and in a location like that where it's just a thin tube basically, right? If something is echoing down the stairs, you may think that it's on the 2nd floor somewhere, right? So I'm just trying to kind of go through the motions of everything. It's bothering me, Jamie, that he said that to you. And I'm like trying to have this conversation, and I'm thinking about that. I'm going to call Jay as soon as we get done with this.
I appreciate that you have that connection or whatever. I just don't think it's ever going to... It's happening too many times to too many people. Hi, Mary Jo.
Hi, how are you?
You're my bestest friend that I've known for years and years and years, right?
As of a day ago.
I counted. I think it was 4 days. And I said that here. I said, I talked to her for the first time ever 4 days ago.
Yeah.
4 days.
I took screenshots of it, by the way.
Yes.
Make sure we weren't friends before this. And we never talked before.
Are you calling him right? Okay. Well, he's watching.
I'm going to ask him. What the fuck did I say about Jamie?
You should put him on speaker.
Who's on speaker?
He's calling Jay. Elkie told me Jay didn't want to come on because he doesn't like the drama.
I can. He might explode, and he doesn't want. I don't think that's a very good look for him if he does that.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Oh, they're probably watching, so that's why.
Yeah.
Please
Well,
record
they were.
when you have finished recording it.
Hey Jay, I'm on this live video on StreamYard, and Jamie Gordon came across here and said that you called her today and said I said some really bad things about her. I'd like some clarification on that. She said you were on the phone with her for 90 minutes today and she learned a lot. And I'm kind of curious as to what negative bad things I said. Give me a call, man. Later.
Nice message. And she told me that today. Jamie was like, I talked to him for 90 minutes. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, that's a normal conversation.
But said all
He's
these
like he's only
people
90 minutes and not 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, raise your hand if you've ever had to sit and listen. Sorry, that's so mean. But seriously, the story, I wish I had been able, seriously, I don't think any of this would have happened. And I'm talking to Joe and Chris right now because they were with me when we went to investigate. If we had not talked to Jay, if we had heard none of those stories, if we had not gone into it already feeling like this guy is making shit up, or at least truly believes this shit to be paranormal, but we can see that it's not. If none of that happened and we just investigated, we probably would have had a good time. Maybe a few hits on stuff. I personally believe the paranormal travels with you. You could be anywhere. and have a paranormal experience if you look for it and are in the right, you know.
What gets me though is, right, we never had any conversations with Mary Jo until a couple days ago. And Mary Jo starts telling us about her experience there, and it was so similar. Like, there was so many spot on things. I thought, oh,
Hey,
Hello?
Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, what bad thing did I say about Jamie Gordon?
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Nothing. She asked me today the same question. Jamie Gordon said, "What did Danger say about me?" I said, "Nothing." I said, "Danger doesn't even know you." And she said, and she asked again. She goes, "So what did Danger say about me?" I said, "Nothing." And I said, "We were talking about the wall, that you were saying things from the wall or something like that." She said it twice.
Who said something was in the wall?
Well, we were talking about. Remember when I called up? I said, "What was that story you told me about?" Remember I called up and I said, "Hey, what was that story about that place that had the things in the wall?" Because Jamie Gordon.
Oh, Hell House. Hell House. Hell House had those intercoms on.
Yeah. I didn't tell her that. I didn't tell her the name of it. And we were talking because Matt. Talked to Matt. And Matt, have her give me a call because I don't know what's going on. Why this fucking Chris Smith is pushing this and fucking.
Well, why don't? How about? Are you able to hop on and talk with them? I came on here. Okay.
Yeah, no, I can't right now because right now I'm just Rob just light his teeth off. Rob is I kept Rob on everything, but Rob's open season, brother.
Well, Rob's just kind of from his side of it is not, he just doesn't. He just wants to be left out of it. He just wants.
All of us do. All of us do.
You know.
No, I did too.
Yeah,
I did Rob's out of everything, right? Because where I come from, it's about familiar. Right?
Well, have you called him? Have you called him and talked to him?
I did. I tried earlier today. I said, "Hey," because I didn't listen to the garbage. I can't. I don't shit right. I love my past behind me, right? Like you said, I love my guns at home, right? I don't get involved in this shit, right?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm on the show with them. Yeah. So we'll talk. But you need to call him. You need to call him, and y'all need to squash it.
No, seriously. No, listen. I know you're on the show and all this.
Yeah,
stuff.
look. Yeah, but
you know what I said.
Yeah.
What I said. I'm a man of words. We got our beef, we got our shit, but we always fixed it. We're best. But here's the thing. There's a lot of lying going on. And I don't know what's going on. But so if Rob wants to put a target on me, well, guess what?
I don't think he is, though, is the thing. I don't think he is. I think he just is. His name's being brought up, and he just wants everything to stop. That's all.
He could at least get he's a crime. It's fucking.
Okay.
When I tried to text him, he said I was delusional. So as I say, he thought I'm fool. No, it's done.
All right. I'll call you later. We'll talk. Yeah.
It's done.
Okay.
What'd I do this time?
Yeah, it was hard to hear towards
Pretty
the
Oh,
end.
I'm sorry.
No,
Because you know
it's
why?
okay.
His microphone's acting up.
No, I'm glad you told them that you were on the show too, because
Yeah, I don't want him to,
honestly, I want people to know, oh, hey, you're
Yeah,
on the show.
Here's what'd you see? I didn't fucking say shit.
I know.
So, but he said Rob was he's seriously
Rob's the
yeah.
reason?
So I think you guys need to talk and maybe.
I tried. He sent me a crazy ass message. Now I know why Joe was there. You said who was there? Remember you said
earlier on we pointed out that you had no idea who was all going to be there, and you had no idea what the night was going to hold, and
right.
And now it's just getting blown out of proportion.
Yeah, and now he says Then he just blocked me, right? This was earlier. This was before I came on, which is what made me want to come on. I knew Boston, Chris, and Joe were coming. I didn't know Jamie. And then was Tyler last minute, Joseph?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Tyler, we were still looking for a fifth.
I wasn't even there, so I don't know what he's talking about. I don't care what he's talking about. I've tried to talk to this man multiple times, but as you just witnessed, I get blamed for every goddamn thing that happens. Everything. Almost everything. Then Mary Jo took that role over.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
She's getting it worse than any of us.
I owe you a big ass, Rob, when I see you, okay?
Have you guys ever seen that video where the lady's like, "You have been promoted"?
Right. And the sad thing is, and I said this over and over to him, I said, as investigators, we have proof. We record everything. Right. And for the weekend, him and all those podcasts, I'm like, are you really not listening to yourself? Because I'm going to sit there and prove everything you said was wrong. Mm-hmm. I had the videos of him when he walked into the house, when he stopped the live. I have all the texts. I have everything. And I'm getting all this together now, and I'm going to put it out there so people see, like, I didn't have, and like, just making like these weird things, like diarrhea, wiping my butt with your towels. Where's the pictures at? If somebody did that in my house, wouldn't you say something like right from the back? Because I know I would.
Well, and to say that it was your teammate who said it to him, but it was conveniently said on a phone call. Right. Mm-hmm. And so there's apps. And then when he showed the messages after that, the same teammate was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's really mad about this. He's like, Mary, I wouldn't say that about you. And a lot of people watch that podcast, and people that I don't like talk to or don't agree with anymore, they said, I've known Mary Jo for a long time, and she would never grab her boobs. She would never say any of that stuff. I said, no, I would not. And for him to make up those lies and other things, and then I even caught him on tape stating that he loves drama. He'll go on Facebook. He likes to stir things up. In his own voice, he said that, but again, it was recording the whole time at his house, and I guess he didn't realize that the recorder was on and showing and hearing all this. And I'm just sitting there going, this is why this is all going on. It's bad publicity. I guess you know what I mean? They don't
It's
care.
horrible for the business, and that makes me sad, because if truly this business is in their teen daughter's name and this is something she wants to pursue, then she needs some better business partners, in my opinion, to help coach and to shut this kind of shit down, because it's so unprofessional. I think what it all boils down to is that we were two groups of people. We weren't technically even a team when I went. It was just friends, fellow paranormal investigators.
You were the first ones in.
Right. And it was very just relaxed, and that's why I think Chris, he was like, can we see the basement? He's like, yeah, I got to check. And then Elkie's like, of course. So we went. We had a bad experience at the end of the day, and then your team went a few months later and had a bad experience, and because we had bad experiences, we are somehow ruining his business. And what's bizarre to me is that I think you ended up saying something publicly about not having a great time there, but it wasn't until after the heated drama started between you two, correct?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you're looking the other way.
You're looking this way.
Because my thing, it's mirrored. Let me fix that, because it annoys the shit out of me. I'm talking to Mary Jo. I always point to, like right now I'm pointing to Chris.
Yeah, no.
You're pointing to Rob.
Okay, I'll fix that. But I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had your experience there, and then did you immediately just be like, hey world, this place sucks?
No, because he shut our live down, and a lot of people were commenting like, why'd you shut the live down? You were supposed to come back on, and we didn't know what to say. And then that's when I didn't talk to Jay at all. I had no conversation with him after that, because he was supposed to meet us at 10 o'clock. We waited around till about 11, and I went outside because I couldn't breathe. So I was standing outside till about 11:15. Again, took pictures, just some ugly pictures to show a screenshot that I proved that I waited outside for him. And then we left, and 15 minutes later is when they contact, oh, we're sorry, we didn't know you left. Is everything okay? And I put yes, and that was it. And I didn't talk to him for about 4 days is when he started messaging Hammy, questioning him about the house. That, the demon house, the demons in the house were causing all your issues about your bathroom problems. And Chris is like, how did you know about our bathroom problems? Because I didn't say it to you. He goes, oh, that's right, because you were watching the cameras all night. So that's where it all started.
Right.
It had nothing to do with me. He was going after Hammy, which is Chris. And everybody knows how Hammy is. If you know him personally, he gets very like emotional. So like he calls me his mama.
Wait, is his name Chris?
Chris, yeah.
He sounds so much like, I have to point to Rob now. He sounds so much like our Chris. Gets a little emotional.
Yeah, yeah.
Gets a little spicy.
But he won't say nothing publicly. He won't like. He's not
that's
like
different.
that. Yeah, he won't. So I basically told him that I was disappointed in them as a business, and this is what happened from the moment. I mean, it's like huge. And I went about the house and the cameras, and that's when he started going on social media. I privately did it to them, and then they start going on social media, bashing me right and left. Then everybody's like, I think you need to put something up. Yeah. It's always been them bashing.
Well,
so I mean, let's just take what just happened here, right? So because I know Chris and Boston, right now, all this shit's going on. Whose name comes out of his mouth? Mine, once again.
In fairness, I got the first shout out. He said that. Yeah, he said that guy, Chris Smith.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's doing.
But it always boils down to what Rob did. And it's like, bro, go to bed. Let it go. And when you send me crazy text messages, I'm going to say you're being delusional. Whatever Joe, the mob, the enforcer, forget harm. I don't understand what the story is trying to be painted, right?
Joe?
Huh?
Did you just say is Joe the enforcer?
Yeah, Joe Renone. He was there to be. I don't know. I'm just picturing this story that's being created, and it's unbelievable. Right? And then it gets passed like a hot coal from one person to the next, right?
It's really all on Mary Jo right now. Well, all of us, but Mary Jo's getting it.
Mary Jo making stuff up, and he's just not thinking. He's just not thinking. I have all the proof, and it's going to come out. And I didn't want to have to do it, but you know what? Those last 2 podcasts or whatever he did, the videos was uncalled for. And then having his daughter on there saying that I'm bullying her, calling her other sister names. I called her on the phone. Prove it. I've never talked to those children. Never even talked to them. Barely ever. And then they're sitting there on social media with the ex-team member that I have a lawsuit against, and they think it's funny. They think this is not a joke. Like you're very unprofessional. And if I own a house like that, I would be ashamed of myself. And that's how he needs to see it. He don't care. He does not care. And I've had more groups in the last week call me because of this man, because they went there or they called there or they saw him at a Paracon and he was ungodly nasty to them. And because they wouldn't either book an appointment or book a place, or they went there and he belittled them. So, I mean, but I think he's with the little group we have right here. I think he I don't know, like poked the wrong bears.
He's not
like
gonna
he
like
really
this.
did.
Yeah. And I hate to say that, like, but he's seeing us all finally together. I think he's been maybe so public recently and attacking you because like we've been quiet about all this.
Yes.
And then finally are just like, okay, let's put the brakes on here, Jay.
Well, it started up again this time is he went on Eric Vitale's wall. And like people were sending me screenshots because I said, I don't want to see any more screenshots. Stop sending them to me. I don't want to see any more. And then all of a sudden, let's talk about something else but the Warrens. And then all of a sudden, Jay goes, let's talk about Mary Jo. And every single post was, let's talk about every single comment on a picture or a meme of somebody else. Let's talk about Mary Jo. Dude, get your fucking name out of my mouth. I don't want nothing to do with you. Why do you keep bringing my name up? I'm not bothering you. I moved on. I just moved on. And every post, let's bring up Mary Jo and what she did to me.
Yeah.
And that's not, there's something wrong.
Well,
there really is.
Yeah. I think so. I've been waiting and just a few minutes. I just want to show because a lot of our viewers here have absolutely no idea about the paranormal or paradrama. This is our horror channel. So it's a lot of people that are really into like haunted houses, like boo haunts, horror movies, that kind of thing. It's not our paranormal channel. So I want to show just a few minutes. Do you have the timestamp I gave you, Chris?
I can get it real quick.
Okay. It's not going to be about your stuff, Mary Jo. He might mention you a few times, but I wanted to save that for you because I know you've got a big thing.
Was it just me and you that you sent that to?
The timestamp I sent you is when he starts talking.
No, but is it in our chat?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Should be. We have so many group chats.
I know. Give me a sec. I'll find it. Just keep talking. Oh, I got it.
You got it. Okay, because I just want to show people watching, like, this was a video on what happened on September 30th, the Enfield Demon House. I'm sure when Mary Jo covers everything. What's your channel, by the way, that you're going to present this on? Do you want to share that here, Mary Jo?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it under YouTube. It's a Pen Paranormal. I'm going to put it under YouTube, and then I'll just share it as my other ones as it's going live.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to know more about this, it's basically an entire, like, almost 2-hour video that was made describing everything that happened during Mary Jo and her team's investigation on September 30th.
His channel is hard to find. It only has 10 subscribers.
Lies. It's got 10 subscribers. So many lies. Like, but then we kept being brought up for absolutely no reason, and this is when that starts.
I'm gonna play it.
Just a customer. Well, she took revenge. Now, she has a friend named Boston. Like I said, Boston came in with a team in July.
We're not friends. Well, we are now.
Find my phone. And why am I saying this? Well, because there's some damaging things here.
Like what?
Maybe Elka can find it if you can look up that guy, Chris.
So what they're saying is damaging is a private message that Chris had responded back to him with.
I got my phone is going off. Boom.
And yes, Chris said he debunked things and believed stuff was being faked and the ring cams. He said all that in a private message.
I'm gonna out to see if you can find it. But anyhow, she won't be able to find it. I have it last night. He said, you guys are fake. I proved it. Now, this guy got fired. This whole team got fired from the event planner. I'm not going to mention his last name because he was not involved that night.
That was nice of him to do for Rob. But Boston.
No, that team had came in. They were really respectable. I thought everything was fine. The next day, the event planner called me and said, what the hell happened at your house last night? Really angry, chewing my ass out. I said, why? It was just a normal night. I mean, why am I even getting involved in these conversations? He says, I'll take care of it. He goes, I fired them. They were caught at multiple locations. Now, this is the event. At multiple locations. He goes, I have been getting people responding that they have been faking evidence. And they were at your house.
Do you want to pause real quick?
I am so sorry I got you involved in this. He goes,
any response to that, Rob or Joe?
Yeah, it took me a minute to realize he's talking about me.
Right.
Yeah. That's when
You're the event
for faking evidence.
Here's what scares me. I believe he believes what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Completely untrue. Look, Sarah's on the side. What the fuck? Completely untrue. Unreal. Like, I haven't watched this, and now I'm glad I haven't. So this is a real reaction right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like,
for the most part, that's all he says about you.
Okay.
We'll watch a few
at
more
least publicly. I know the other things that have been said, and I do got to run here in a few minutes. But never. First of all, no. And anybody that knows Get Haunted would know that if you guys tried to fake something, anybody on this team tried to fake something, you'd have been gone a long time ago. So. And I will. Here's what I'll offer right now. Hire a polygraph. Loser pays twice.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
It'll take 3 seconds for him to fail it.
I'll do
Those words have never been said. For someone to stand up and bold face, again, he has to believe what he's saying. He has to, because there's no way he can say that with a straight. I'm floored. I'm floored.
He goes on, and for anyone that has to leave, like, feel free to, if we're playing something, to just drop off. We really appreciate everybody being up here.
Yeah, I have to go.
You gotta go. Okay,
thank you
for
so much
coming
for
up.
having me on.
Yeah,
Of course, it was nice to meet you.
Right, nice to meet you.
We'll be in touch.
Mary Jo.
Bye, guys.
Hey, Rob.
Try and be a voice of reason to him.
Hey, Mike.
I'm gonna try, but I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm really gonna try.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him, man. Because
you should.
You should.
Yeah. Help the guy out, because he's not doing his daughter any favors.
No, that's what's the most heartbreaking, honestly.
Right.
And the sad thing is, even on the other the podcast the other night, even his daughter was lying, and I'm like, this is what you're teaching your children, to be liars, and that's not good. Like, my kids, they know if I catch them in a lie. I mean, when they were little, they got grounded big time, but they're allowing their child to lie, and that's even worse.
Yeah. It's sad. I think
right.
so.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
No, now I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because when he first asked who you were, I said, they exposed what's it, McCamey Manor. I did talk about your Hulu thing. Did he now take that fragment and turn it into this warped reality? Dude, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like, this is insanity.
Well, that wouldn't. I don't think so, because that would have nothing to do with faking evidence.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just like, what the?
I think. Yeah, let's watch. Yeah, there's a
concern
few
you.
more minutes that just need to be heard.
And I will take care of it. Don't ever contact these people again. And then he said, who was there? Now, we didn't know the other two people's names, so he demanded, or he asked, I shouldn't say demand, I use stupid words. He asked, do you have any pictures?
Stupid words sometimes.
I said, yes. Mackenzie does. Mackenzie takes pictures and shows them. He goes, why were they there? Who are those people? Because I know this one guy, that girl, I don't know. So we leave it as that. But Boston was here. So now what happened is they're saying is we're going to go upstairs. So follow me, guys, for a quick little tour. And I can explain things, but it would be better if you see things and how things went down. One of the good things I'm going to tell you about the trivia. One of the things they said is they had RAM pods, and they changed it from being the ring, which used to all go off automatically, to RAM pods.
We never changed it. It was always the ring camera was in the kitchen.
And
mine was downstairs. Mine was downstairs, and mine had the REM pods. So he got both of our stories mixed up, but the same stories. But I had the REM pods.
Them.
Right, with the REM pods, we had the K2s.
Where was yours downstairs, though? Where was
was yours on the fireplace camera? Like that?
No, it was on the. I have to remember, it was on the floor, and I think it was on the table. But
the ring camera?
Huh?
The ring cam?
No, his ring cam was right where he was before, right behind him.
Oh, okay. See, so, for us, it was in the kitchen on top
of the back wall of the kitchen.
Yeah, there was two of them. There was one there and one in the kitchen. And he was going back and forth watching us for hours.
And there's one upstairs that I was thinking now, I'm like, wait, was there one upstairs that we didn't notice too? Or is that a new addition since when we went?
Well, let's keep watching.
He said that when they placed a K2 meter next to it, they said you were fake because our RAM pods, now it's a RAM pod, the K2s went off. Right? But now I'm going to show you something. Come here. That's a hi-fi device. That's an electrical device. You can't go by these. If I put it near anywhere here, look at it. See that? If I go anywhere near around here.
As if any paranormal investigator wouldn't know this.
Anything that emits electrical energy. Now, when they talk about a fear cage, being in the trade fields, if I come into a room, I go around the room like this with any type of thing, and this thing is going high, I'm going to say, you know what, that's a fear cage. You got to get out of here. You got to call in the right people and find out what's causing
Pause
all
real
this
quick.
stuff. Anyhow, come with me, guys.
So just want to say a quick point on the K2s and the RAM pods, apparently. Every paranormal investigator knows this. And what's crazy is, again, I had never talked to Mary Jo until just a few days ago. And we said the same thing at like the exact same time. And this was something that at the time was in both Chris and I's head. We had, for our experience, we were all standing, kind of sitting right where Jay is right now, right?
That camera was not on the
That camera was not there. It was in the kitchen so that it could see us, right? But it was farther away from us, and we were getting extremely intelligent communication with a K2 meter. That has never happened to me before. Maybe a few answers where I'm like, can you please get closer? And then it lights up, and that it happens. But this was like, we're having a full damn conversation with this K2. We're all checking our phones because we're like, something's got to be on. Our phone's on airplane mode. And then Chris notices that the light on the camera in the kitchen keeps going off. Now he's saying it's motion censored. We weren't moving. We were all sitting, and I think maybe one person was standing, but we weren't moving around, and we were in the other room.
Boston, do you know if that blue light was staying on, or did it go off within like about 30 seconds? Because that's a motion. So if it stays on for more than like 30 seconds, then he's watching.
It would stay on for a while. I want to say it was more than 30. It would stay on for maybe 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
And then it would go off for like a minute or two, and then it would come back on.
And that's exactly what he did. Yeah, that he was watching then.
And
okay.
I want to be clear with what I'm about to say next, because this is a hypothetical feeling that something could have happened. It's not an accusation that it did. But at the same time, when we were describing our experiences and how it was weird when our equipment was going off and the Ring cameras, we both said the word walkie-talkie. Hold on. And if Chris and Mary Jo want to explain walkie-talkie, I'll be right back.
Yeah, so we were talking about the walkie-talkie because I found out on Boys versus Girls about this at the big finale of it. Their goal was to get a REM pod to be active. I'm waiting outside of the hall, and I got a walkie-talkie that I'm talking, saying, okay, we're about to wrap the show. And I press the button, and the second I press the button, it sends a signal, and that REM pod goes off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I found out, oh, wait, walkie-talkies can signal all this stuff because it's sending electromagnetic field.
Yeah, and that's how you lost the whole game for me. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't have the trophy because of you and your walkie-talkie.
Right. So we learned this. So it's not that I'm saying he for sure was on the other side watching and then going
but it's
the
possible.
walkie-talkie, but it's possible. And it felt weird or icky or something wasn't right. The three of us, well, I don't want to speak for Joe, but it felt like something really wasn't right in that moment. I think Jamie felt the same way. We're all like, that's kind of weird. We kind of noticed the Ring camera. Chris said something and went upstairs, and we did upstairs. But it's so strange to me that Mary Jo and her team had that same feeling,
When we were downstairs with the cameras, our stuff would go off on command. And first thing I said, I whispered to them, he's got something behind that wall. Like, the walkie-talkie. We would go upstairs. Everything was going off so good on the live. But then as soon as we went back upstairs, it stopped because we weren't alive anymore. He had no cameras up there. Mm-hmm. Everything was dead. I'm like, that's when we were whispering, yeah, he definitely has some kind of device over the other side of that wall and was clicking it when we were on the live. And then we went downstairs and it would be active. So we stopped using the REM pods altogether. We just stopped doing everything because they were triggering it to go off.
Sorry.
Something was triggering it to go off.
That's how it felt. That's how it felt for us. And again, this is not meant to be like, that's what happened. It's just a feeling that, strangely, two separate groups of people felt months apart and had never talked to each other about it, well, until me and Mary Jo talked, and then Chris joined us like 3 to 4 days ago. I just want to play a little bit more of this because I want you to hear the bunny part. This is the biggest part.
I'm going to take you on a push through the Enfield Demon House.
Well, not the biggest part.
Before I do that, I'm going to come over to here. I know it sounds long, but I'm trying to make this as short as I can. That's why I'm getting a pointer. Okay? So follow me up to the Demon House. Now, see, this is wall, and this wall is famous. So I'll tell you why. So follow me. Oh, man.
That's an important wall that he's going to tell us about. That he
I'm really upset. I'm really, really upset because this is going on way too far. Wow, what a beautiful day. Okay, so the first evidence is these beds are on rollers.
Yeah.
Okay? So that team who
Something
was in there,
Chris has
well, I said,
to him
you
private.
said the bed moves. I said the bed moves because it's on wheels, and that's why I mentioned it, that it's on wheels. I said one time they found a bed across the hallway. I never said anything about the light
Did not
moving.
tell us it
Mackenzie
was
did a
across
video
the
about a light
hallway.
moving. Over here used to be a doorway that's sealed off that goes to the attic.
I do get what you're saying.
Now, while they were up here yelling handcuffs and freaky things, Boston sent a message on Penn Paranormal and said,
I did.
hey, she wanted everybody to know this, but Mary Jo had already been in contact. She doesn't want you to know this, but we do. Boston said, I hear they got rabbits up there. Up here. That it's a bedroom, it's a kid's bedroom, and they got rabbits. Rob, Boston has no idea. Boston and that group said, my daughter said that we have rabbits that run up there. And that turned into wild
Did not
special
say
forces.
that.
No, I'm being 100% honest. I got grilled on this, saying that I had wild attack rabbits running into the floorboards, making thumping sounds, producing paranormal, and cutting communication lines. Guys, this is
Where
not
did
a
he
joke.
get this at? That's what I like to know.
That's what I want to know. Was
I
that
can't
you,
figure it
Rob?
out.
Was that you? Like, who grilled him on these special forces rabbits chewing communication wires in the floorboards?
When he's making these memes about me with these rabbits, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, what did I say that made this man think this?
Well, you're
I didn't
allergic
say
to
nothing.
rabbits. And that's all your thing was that you had an allergic reaction and found out there were rabbits there. And we're like, dude, I asked you what animals,
I did. I specifically said, what animals do you have? He said, one dog. I never saw a picture of the dog. I don't know how big he was, little. I didn't know.
It's more than one dog.
Yeah, but he has more than one dog, and he's got 100 cages of animals everywhere. And like, why didn't he just tell me that? If he told me, I would have just taken my medication and brought an inhaler. But he had a chinchilla, which he did not say until, again, our message. And
hamsters,
that I get extremely sick, and I can't even be around them. So
Right.
I wouldn't even came to that house if I knew he had a chinchilla, but they lied to me. They never told me they had any of those animals in that house.
I want to know how cold this room is, because his fucking nipples can cut some
Oh my
ass.
God, Chris.
And I can't fucking
Please,
take
not
my
about
eyes.
boobs on here.
Stop.
Look,
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
All of this is just pure insanity, right? Nobody should be having to sit here tonight to defend themselves or any of it. So I do hope that that it all kind of settles at some point.
I disagree. I think this was long overdue.
No.
Yes.
Look, right, but the road to here was completely unnecessary, right? Completely unnecessary. And you're right, Joe. It's long overdue, right? And the more they go out and do their thing, they're picking up little followers here and there, and that's great. I do. I wish them nothing but success. But just leave me alone.
But
I'm
I
not
don't
your
like that
problem.
they're going to different places that I've been and talking about me. I don't know if they're doing it with you guys, but when I
I'm
found out
sure.
they're calling people to talk shit on me,
Yeah.
and I've done nothing but just defend myself. I didn't say anything that happened in that house, nothing. But you can fat shame me, say I shit all over your house, all this crazy stuff that never even happened, and I've just been quiet. And you're now going to locations and people that do paracons and saying they're going to, and all like Joe Frankie and John Zaffis. I said all these things. I didn't even know who Joe Frankie was. I actually had to look him up on Facebook, and we had a 3-hour, 3-hour conversation. And it wasn't all to do about him. I just said, I have nothing, like, I don't know you, and I've never said a thing about you. And he goes, no, I didn't know who you were either. So again, he's bringing good people together, and I guess the bad people are starting to show themselves. That's how I'm seeing it.
And that's what's sad for me is that the people that are giving them the fake support just because they have an issue with you, or they have an issue with Get Haunted, or they have an issue with, most people don't know who the fuck Chris and I are. but we do ghost hunt sometimes. But it's crazy because they're gonna look, I'm sorry to say, but they're gonna look stupid when they realize that this is all coming from an individual and his family who, and again, I don't know if it's intentional. That's what makes it hard.
Yeah.
It's like you want to just be angry at them, but I don't know if it's intentional that they
Agreed.
are
Look,
so mixed
part of me,
up.
look, this whole thing started, I wanted to try to help them. All right. And I
Yeah.
didn't, I had 2 events there. The rest was just donating time from myself, from Sarah, from the rest of the crew, right? Lori driving her ass over there, you know, to be
Poor
there
Lori. Oh
on
my god.
overnight events and things like that. So, and all that money was theirs, right? I never took a dime, and it was never good enough. I could never get this done on time. But at the same time, I was kind of battling the posts, right? We have our style, he has his, and it was like, I'm like, these things don't go together. It's just,
he should never, whether he was working with Get Haunted or on his own, should never ever again tell anyone the history of that house.
Yeah.
I think that's
So
the best
I'm like,
advice I
okay,
can give.
right? So I'm like, okay, this was getting harder to do, and if they want to post shit, I can post receipts on that too. It's getting hard. Like, hey, I need you to take the computer away because this is not, it doesn't look good. We're putting this post out. You guys are doing this post. It's weird. Doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Donating my time. Couldn't get a logo done fast enough. Couldn't get anything to them fast enough while trying to still pay the rent and pay my bills and run a company with Sarah here. And yes, none of the money, I never touched money. They were handed that money. And I believe you guys had that same rule. You guys
I
them
handed
that
him the
money that
cash.
night. So, you know, to put that much time and effort and months in, and I know how much money I raised for them, right? And you know, there were times where they didn't want certain folks in there, so they would screen it, right? They're like, oh no, this person, you did this. So I was stuck in the middle of some shit, right? Stupid shit. And
which
I'm
is
like,
what sounds like happened with Mary Jo and him too. He started bringing
so I'm
up
like, you don't want, okay, well now, so why am I even taking these bookings here, right? And it was just getting ridiculous. We tried to exit. We were like, hey, like, we think you guys got this. We're gonna step away. Please don't. I don't remember the exact amount of time we waited.
It was a while because I remember at that point, and again, I've already told you why I stopped volunteering with Get Haunted. It had nothing to do with what happened there. I adore you guys, wish you nothing but the best. It just wasn't for me. But I remember from the month that we went and had our experience to like when you guys stopped working with them, that entire time I was like, something's gonna happen. Like there's gonna be another team that has the negative experience. You know, I was worried for you guys.
Concerns, right? And then, you know, there were a couple teams that had a great time, but in retrospect, a couple have reached out and like, yeah, I'm not sure about this or that. Don't care. Like none of that was my mission ever. I didn't go in to debunk them. They had a story, and I truly wanted to help them. Sarah really wanted to help them too. Yeah. The team wanted to help them. Lori was donating her time. So to have all that thrown back after getting them thousands of dollars, right? To have that thrown back in our faces like that, it's absolute bullshit. All we want to do is step away. It started feeling weird. I wasn't sure that what we were doing at that point was helping them or hurting them because there was a change. And I'm like, okay, we're out. Then I just got a bad feeling. I did get a bad feeling. I think Mary Jo called me, I think the night before. And it was about World Sergeants. I'm like, something's just not sitting right. So I called Sarah and I'm like, we're out. Let's put the notice out.
So it was like right before Mary Jo's team went.
Right. And then it just turned into Rob fucking I'm the devil. I am the devil. So congratulations to everybody on the side. The devil exists and he's sitting right here in Pennsylvania. But I jump from body to body, right? It just goes from me to Joe to Chris to Boston to Mary Jo to whoever's next on the list, or Jamie. you know, and you can go back and you can find our exit letter. And we were always kind and we were always fair and we were never, not once negative. So, they can be pissed at me all they want. I'm tired of hearing my name. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing Sarah's name. I'm tired of hearing your names. It's not fair. I don't care what anybody did. The treatment that everybody here is getting it's just not just. It's not okay. It has to stop. Oh, well, I don't want to
Great. Do
put
you
that
want to
out there,
dox
Tails.
yourself?
I'm on the eastern side of PA. I'm in the Allentown, Bethlehem area.
I real quick want to. Do you have the 1 minute clip of what he said about Mary
Then
Jo
I gotta
and
go. I
why
want to
he
see
shut
this,
down
and
the
then I
live?
gotta go.
Yeah. So this
I'm
is
old.
just one clip that. So the whole big issue is that Mary Jo's team was there. Like I said, that's where I left the comment. He wanted their live to end. He had big issues with their live. I rewatched the live recently. Nothing bad was said. There was maybe I think there was a joke. It was something along the lines of, they were hearing noises from the closet. So one of the teammates was like, "Oh, I'm going to go in the closet." Another teammate laughed and was like, "Oh, going in the closet. Enjoy your 7 minutes in heaven." You know, there's little jokes like that when you're on an investigation. You can't be serious 100% of the time. To me,
but if everybody knows Hammy, that's how Hammy is.
Right,
Like, we don't say stuff like that, but we just joke because that's Hammy, and everybody knows how Hammy is. And
Right.
it's not like it's a private investigation; it's a public. And he wanted me to do this live so he can get more followers. He was trying to get his name out in the paranormal, but Jay doesn't understand, which I will bring up on my video, that when you do an event in Enfield, everybody in Enfield is going to see it if they go on Facebook, look on our events. It's going to show up at your door. It's going to show up on your news feed.
It came up to me as a suggestion. I wasn't even following you guys.
Yeah, so it's crazy. For him to think that I did this to him, and no, I was just trying to help him, but didn't know. And then again, he took the live down because his town was commenting this stuff, and he was mad.
I don't know if I even you've told me that. I don't know if I even believe that. Maybe there's like a name or two he recognized from his town, but
he did, and he asked me to block him. I have it on that video when he came in, and I unblocked them all. So all the comments are up there now.
He's a public business.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play this real quick because it's wild.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed because I gotta get up.
She goes, I don't want you. Now she wants you to think that we don't want people to know about our address. You know, people do know our address. Everybody in the paranormal field knows our address. Even the chief of police who knows us from the craft fairs, and the town knows our address because we do a lot with the town. But who we don't want coming over the house is to have a drug party, a sex party. We don't want people coming over because we're told, where are you? We're trying to come over because you know what? They weren't coming over, ladies and gentlemen, to have a paranormal party. They heard handcuffs, jumping out of the closet. Hell, if I was in my 20s, I probably would say, hey, where it is, I'm coming over the Jägermeister.
Would you?
But you know what?
Would you go on a live?
We told them, don't give out the address to these people. We don't want a party here. We don't want the cops involved with people shooting each other and thinking they're going to get lucky that night. Okay? So now, as Elka's asking her not to go live, see the ring keeps going off, guys.
The demon is making the ring go off nonstop while he's live.
I can't believe.
All right. Listen, I do. I'm sure I have a busy day ahead of me tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be some fallout from all this insanity. But to everybody that's on here, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this ever became something for you. It sucks.
I'm sorry. My comments apparently started
okay.
Before
No. I'm not apologizing for anything I've done.
You're
I'm
just sorry it's
apologizing
happened. Yeah.
that this situation for everybody sitting on this screen right now is it's just it's the most unnecessary thing I've seen in all the years I've been doing this, and it just sucks. So,
hey, before you go, can I get a job reference?
Yeah. Just send it over. Send it over to my my assistant.
Okay.
We'll get you set up.
Perfect.
But and you know, I don't know. folks out there, believe what you want to believe, but I don't think it's hard to see. I don't. But Chris Buffin never faked a damn thing. Never, not once. At least under my watch. I don't know. Chris may have faked an orgasm or two.
I was about to say, did you talk to my ex?
Chris, as far as, and I wouldn't even consider this faking, but for the girls versus boys things, the jump scares.
Oh, Jesus.
Those are freaking hilarious. That's not faking anything. That's just Chris scaring the shit
No,
out of someone.
yeah, Chris scaring me. I'm 53. Okay, you can't do that. Yeah,
I was concerned.
You can play that later, but I do have to get running.
Okay. All right, go to bed.
Thanks for having me on.
Catch up and
thanks you guys for hanging out.
This is para-unity. That's a new word. Horror community.
Don't ever use that word.
Horror community. Don't ever use the word para-unity.
Okay, and don't forget gethaunted.com for all your paranormal needs.
Yes, and the
use the Enfield 20 code for your.
Joseph, you're not helping me. I got to deal with this shit. All right, folks. Thank you. We'll talk.
All right.
I'm sure.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh man, it's been and this live, like the cover for this live, and thank you to all of our viewers who are following along, because I know most of you are from our horror community and McCamey Manor Worlds community. So I know this is very foreign to get some para drama up in here. But it was, a topic we wanted to cover. We didn't realize it would go over 2 hours. So I guess we're going to have to schedule another live for our TransWorld update, which, by the way, let me ask, Joe, do you know what TransWorld is?
No.
What do you think it is?
Joe's like, you ain't gonna get me canceled.
What do you think it is? It is. I'm sorry.
It's Transylvania.
No hate to TransWorld, but
okay,
maybe a rebrand, because my father thought I was going to an LGBTQ convention because I was coming out as transgender, which that was not the truth. It's a horror haunt convention.
Then change the name.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean,
change the name.
So this is the first year, right, that after the movie came out. So my following grew, and so I made a post saying I was at TransWorld, and all of a sudden my feed started getting posted with flags, and I was like, no, wrong. I support it, but wrong convention.
Yeah, his whole feed was the transgender flag, because everyone was trying to congratulate him for.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, that's what this live was supposed to be, a little bit about. We were hoping to have Jay on originally, and then Elkie. That didn't work out. And
I'm surprised they wouldn't come on.
Elkie did.
She tried. She had a horrible connection. She tried twice.
And then messaged. I was doing that to her.
That's true. They could be typing. Mm-hmm. And then when Chris came on,
that just ended it.
Then I got a message from her being like, I don't want to be a part of this and whatever. This is interesting though, because Jamie did talk to him today for 90 minutes. He genuinely told me and a friend of mine, you guys were going live and we're planning to throw me under the bus and Jamie,
that's tomorrow's live.
You're a little early.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is you cannot, because I think he also told you stuff that other people had said about you. He's trying to stir up drama. You cannot believe a word this guy says.
Yeah, it's bad.
Why would we do that?
I can't wait till I put that video together and show what happened and what he's saying and what happened. And people's mind are going to be like, there's going to be like, oh my God, I can never trust him again. Because everything he's saying has been a lie. And I can prove it. He just shows up. I don't have him right now to show you, but he has a bunch of papers and waves them all around. And so I have all this proof. Well, I can grab a bunch of papers too and say that. But if I don't show you, where's your fucking proof? Show me the text message. Show me the picture. Show me this. You have nothing. You're showing nothing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show your clip, your voice, your text message, what you said about this person. And he's going to be like, he's not going to know what to do. His head's going to spin this weekend because I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm going to have to. I need to clear my name because you're making me look like a jerk.
I totally
Yeah,
think you have to.
I
So-
hate to do it because I don't want to do it anymore, but I have no choice because those 2 podcasts this weekend, I was so mad that man just belittled the shit out of me in front of his wife. His wife laughs. His kids even made fun of me. There's one daughter.
It was bad.
I'm like, who does that? Like I would I would smack my husband if he talked to another woman like that. That is just so wrong in all levels. He has no respect for anybody. Nobody.
And I think he is aware that there are conversations, whether they were on Zoom that he had with people like months and months ago, or literally tonight that he had with people. These are recorded because people don't trust, because every time you get information, it gets twisted, Jay, and then you go and you smear people. You're literally smearing this grown woman, this adult. You're telling people that she went to the bathroom and used your hand rags to wipe. You are insane. You're telling people I'm spreading rumors about special forces rabbits in your attic. Like, where are you getting this? And stop, because if you want a successful business, first of all, I honestly don't think you ever will. If that house is haunted,
It's not.
I really
don't think it is. I think it was at one time. I did talk to Joe Frankie. They did clear it. And I walked in there. I'm like, there ain't nothing here. It's like my grandmom's house. Like, there ain't nothing there. But then again, it could be. I'm not saying it's not. We got, I didn't feel nothing. We got absolutely. Now I feel the energy coming from them. If that makes sense for you guys to understand what I'm trying to say.
I felt that too.
I definitely could feel it from them. And I told everybody, even before we left, that it's coming from him and that dark-haired daughter.
It's coming from the family. If there is a haunting there, in my opinion, Mary Jo has the same opinion. It's the family is haunted, not necessarily the location. Which that's like, and I wish them the best. And I honestly wish them the best in the sense that I really hope that they let go of this and move and try to start something new, because this is not the way to run a paranormal location. It's not the way to treat customers. It's not the way to earn or gain a successful business. And there are going to be, if you continue on, people are going to start with the lawsuits. Some may have already started. I don't know, but people are going to start, and this is in your daughter's name, according to you. And if this is, I'm saying, if this is something where you want your daughter to be a young entrepreneur and start a business, if she wants that, that is great. But look for a different avenue to make this happen.
I don't think his daughter wants that business at all. I think it was just,
shield. I think it was a shield.
Exactly, because you have him seeing all these videos before. They're crying, they're scared, they want to sell the house, blah, blah, blah. It was all this. And now all of a sudden, because I called you out and said your daughter's the LLC, all of a sudden there's Mackenzie sitting there talking. Mary Jo bullied me. Mary Jo this, Mary Jo that. I'm like, where were you this whole time? I didn't even speak to you once.
Don't you think when we met her, she would have said like my business or my, I don't know. It's
they were never really in the room. I mean, Mackenzie talked to me for a couple minutes at Gettysburg. That's because her parents were there and she was bored. She had nowhere else to go. So that was really about it. I mean, but besides that, I know they're on the group chat, they answer the emails. So that's when I started, hey, listen, Elkie, this is not for you. Girls, please don't read this. And I did start it like that because I didn't want the girls to read what I had to say.
You never know who's reading. I don't even know if I was really talking to Elkie today. You know what I mean? My biggest if you're going to sleep, good night, random girl. Thank you for being here. My biggest question there that night is if it's so tragic. Yeah, I think I had that feeling too, because some of the stories we were getting. So I am not seasoned like Joe and Mary Jo are here. Chris and I, we're like 2-3 years into this world, you know what I mean? But have had the opportunity to go to quite a few locations. And with that said, the stories that we will hear, if we do get any stories about a location before going, usually are things that we have experienced in the paranormal world, whether it is, sounds of footsteps or a shadow figure or a full apparition or intelligent communication. What's it called when the voices aren't in a device, they're just there. Audible somethings, I don't know.
Disembodied voice or...
Thank you. Yeah, disembodied voices. So all those things, right? But then we get to Jay's house and the Enfield Demon House, and the stories we get are people being picked up and thrown across rooms, children in their cribs covered in blood that's not theirs when they were babies. These things that you would only see in a horror movie. And so it makes, when we went there, I was like, this is either going to be like the craziest place we've ever been to, or it's an absolute fraud, because it can't be both. You know, it can't be both.
But the kids sleep there, and why would you want people you don't know come to your house and piss something else off to attach your family? Like my kids, like I have haunted things in my house. My kids don't come in my house. We don't have people sleep over because I don't want that. I don't want nothing to happen to somebody else because of the shit that I have in my house. Why are you letting your kids sleep there? If it's that bad and you're scared and you're crying and you had two people who gave you money to buy that house, nope, right. I won't have money.
Yeah. He was offered money to sell that house. He actually said, I need help, like when he started with Get Haunted, like to make money so we can sell because I don't want to live here because it's so haunted. They've lived there since 2006, is it? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And if these things where your wife's being thrown down the stairs and your children are covered in blood, and it's just like, but then the daughter grows up and according to you guys, it's like, I want to start a business. I don't want to move.
That's new.
Yeah.
That's a new thing.
Yeah.
That's the new, you're right.
Because I brought their little secret out, I guess. Yeah. I didn't know it was a secret, but obviously it was. But even like when I was there, because he was saying it was demonic, and I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, there's no. So I brought Bibles and I brought stuff with me, and I had them. And so after the live, we did some stuff with the Bible. Just complete nothing. And I'm like, okay. But I didn't tell him that because, I mean, he was watching some of the stuff, but we weren't getting anything at all. But then again, you have somebody come in there, does something really bad. And why would you want that for your kids? That's why I don't believe any of it. I questioned him before I went there because I told him, I'm like, I'm not going to lie for you. If it's haunted, it's haunted. If it's not, it's not. I'm not going to lie. And he didn't like that. He goes, well, I'm the demon house of Enfield. I said, okay, you were. Doesn't mean that you are now. I said, I'm not going to lie for you. And he knew that. And he was very standoffish when we first walked in. You could see it in his face because I think he knew that I wasn't going to lie for him.
I think he felt that with us too, interestingly. Sorry, Joe. You go.
So think about how our experience there in his eyes got completely twisted. Same thing when Mary Jo was there. It got completely twisted. So the guy has that personality to twist things, right? Mm-hmm. So he probably twisted like babies scratch themselves all the time.
He showed us pictures of their scratches, and it was like baby fingernails.
Baby fingernail scratches, right? Yeah. Exactly. So he embellishes tremendously, like over exaggerates.
But literally everything, not just the stuff about the house, stuff about all of us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if he's gonna talk, like none of the stuff he told in that video, he was meshing stories together. Mm-hmm. None of that ever happened in the chronographic order that he said it happened or where it happened. So
was that the first time you watched that, Joe?
No, I sat and watched the whole thing when he did it. I just shook my head. I just shook my head. You know, and I said, poor Mary Jo. I mean, like this is friggin' ridiculous. You know what I mean? But again, I was under I'm just like, I'm gonna stay under my rock. You know what I mean? But
well, you're always like that, and you kind of inspire me. Like from the beginning when I joined this paranormal world, like you were a big inspiration for me. Like the way you investigate, the way you kind of just stay, like you know so many people, but you don't enjoy the drama.
I'm not out there to make money, and I'm not out there to be on television. I'm out there to try and get conventional science to maybe listen to one of my EVPs and be like, yeah, that's a legit phenomenon.
That's more where I fit in as well to the paranormal world. So like I get that. But it got to this point where Mary Jo reaches, like, Rob had told us, by the way, Boston's name keeps being brought up. We got that message back in November. Now it's March. Mary Jo messages me very nicely, just, hey, you know, your name has been brought up. And of course I had heard of her name, but I didn't watch all his lives. I didn't know what was being said. And she goes, hey, I just know your name is brought up a lot with me and something about rabbits. Like, let's talk. So we talked and we shared our stories and they matched up so well. Our experiences that both groups had. And I was like, you know what? I think enough is enough. After seeing what he did to attack her. Like, that's the stuff that was said about her. I don't even know this woman. We just met. The stuff that was said about her, for me, just as a female, I'm like, bro, no.
I love how he must have searched my name because so Jay is delusional. So in PA, you guys are not from PA, you can carry a gun anywhere as long as it's not concealed. I have a concealed weapons permit. So he went searching somehow and found out it was expired last month. Whoop-de-doo. I have 90 days, dude. Okay, so I can carry a gun and hide it. You know what I mean? So why put that online? But then he said he's a picture of me pointing a gun at somebody. I haven't touched a gun in probably 5 years because we don't have enough time to go to the range. So right. I know he doesn't have a picture of me. And if he does, I was 200 pounds heavier because I lost that weight since 5 years. So I'll be able to tell where you got this picture. But then again, people don't think when they go on your Facebook to steal stuff. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting to see his picture that he'll never show. And then I have a boyfriend in, what was it again? Boston. Where's my boyfriend at again?
In New Hampshire. So I'm your boyfriend because I'm officially the first person she met from New Hampshire.
Yeah, I don't know anybody from New Hampshire. Never even been to New Hampshire. And I'm like, yeah, well, there's my New Hampshire boyfriend. So there you go.
I'm your boyfriend from New Hampshire. Hello, everybody. We're out.
Yeah. Sorry, Bill. I know you're watching.
TransWorld just came back from TransWorld. No, I'm her boyfriend. Okay. So, but seriously, the fat shaming of women, especially to me, like that's something that is very relevant that we're going through, that I'm going through from this monster named Russ McCamey, who would probably be really good friends with Jay, actually, now that you think about it.
Or they'd be like... No, don't get two monsters together.
No, I think they'd probably be more like enemies. But he completely fat shamed me, like, what was it, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? Yeah. And he's got how many followers?
Oh, that's amazing.
Just on his personal page.
Hey, you guys that haunted house that you told me to watch last night?
About the documentary, Monster Inside.
Was supposed to be making my dolls, and I was stuck to my phone. You know what time I stopped at? 5 a.m.
Did you finish it?
Yes. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to go to bed because I have to get up in 2 hours to go to work, and literally had 2 hours sleep. I was like, oh my God, because I remember seeing pictures of that thing. I'm like, is this real? Like, is this like a real thing? Like, oh, I can do that. But I watched that documentary. I wouldn't last 5 seconds in that place. Absolutely not. And I can't believe people actually, that scared me. I'm like, oh my God, these poor people. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
well,
that's crazy.
This is Chris, who goes to extreme haunts, loves them. We talk about them on our channel. I've never been to one personally. I appreciate the art of it. And if you watch that documentary, I hope what you got from the end of it was that there are safe extreme haunts that are for people that want to get into more of an extreme experience, fear-wise, with narratives that are completely safe and professional. And Russ McCamey and McCamey Manor is not one of them. Hopefully that's the message you got. So he has 28,000, over 28,000 followers just on his personal page, and he makes posts all the time calling Chris fat, ugly, bald. I went up to him at TransWorld, which is a haunt convention for haunted houses and props and that sort of thing, and I flipped him off. That's all I could do. I wanted to do a whole lot more. I didn't know what would come out of my mouth because I'm so angry about the things that he has done personally to my best friend and to so many women. And he decided to make like a whole post about me, a little video about how I'm Chris's girlfriend, which we're not, we're best friends, about how Chris has no standards. Oh my God, I can't believe, like, that's like no standards. Like, she is a sow. I'm a gentleman, so I'll let you guys look up what a sow means.
Yeah.
It was bad. So the timing of you reaching out to me and then me actually listening to the things that Jay has said about you, I was like, no, there's no more sitting down and just playing nice anymore.
And
You know?
nobody defended you. That's another thing. Like when Jay was going on these posts with the other people, I saw people on that wall that I know. Not one of them reached out to me. Not one of them defended me. So they are no longer my friends. I saw, block, delete. I'm done. Like if I saw somebody like that, if I knew you, Boston, and I knew that, I would like, first of all, I would defend you 110%. I don't care if I got banned or who hated me, but then I would come and tell you. Because it's still not right. Bashing anybody, no matter what you look like, who you are, whatever, it's wrong. Why? And then they go on these podcasts about bullying people, and that you're the bully. So you're all the bully. Everything they said, these people were bullying. Until I went on their podcast, it was crickets from the people on the podcast. They just sat there like, oh shit, she's watching. Oh shit. Because they know me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now you're going to talk shit about me, and I'm here live listening to you. It's just like, why? Why do this? It's like high school.
Yeah.
Like, didn't people grow up? Maybe not, but it's high school. It's worse than high school, actually.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad. And I think that
it's really the worst I've seen it.
Yeah. I mean, for Joe to speak up, like it really, I know that you guys don't know all these people because we have had Joe on our haunted channel. But for Joe to like come on the live and like speak up about this,
to have all of you guys up here tonight was amazing. We did not expect that, and that was so
but it means
awesome.
something too. It means that there are enough people that have had enough, that have for a very long time stayed silent. A lot of us, I know, Mary Jo, you've been back and forth with him for months, but so many of us have just remained silent. For me, it was simply because I didn't know what was going on with you. I didn't know you. I wasn't following any of it. I was out of mind. But it was also because we all were just like, you know what, bad experience, place is a scam, maybe, feels like it, yeah, weird family, he said something about me spreading rumors, haha, that's funny, because I didn't, and then just out of sight, out of mind, because I don't want to ruin this family or their income, you know what I mean?
Right, that's how I feel, right? So there's a part of me that feels bad for the daughter, right? Because I feel as though she's being manipulated and swept up into this. And if they do want to legit make this a business, then like he's got to just let people say what they're going to say
have
about
their
the place.
opinions.
Yeah.
Well, and especially what's happened, at least with Chris and I's case, is it was one comment in a live that was nothing against them or their house. It
Right,
was just
I
trying
know.
to help a family. That was it. It went crazy. And then Chris said, they reached out to Chris in November, and Chris said a bunch of shit that they probably didn't want to hear, but it wasn't public. And then they go out publicly saying that people are spreading these rumors. No, we're telling you direct to the source.
And the sad thing is they reached out to you in November. I told them about these rabbits. I asked if they had rabbits. That's why I asked them. I said, somebody came on, or I don't know if I said came on with message that, you had rabbits in this house. Do you have rabbits? I'm allergic to them. Yeah. And then she basically said, it was Elke saying, I don't have to answer you, but yes, we do have rabbits and a chinchilla. And that's when I didn't lose it, but I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much sense why I was so sick. And I explained to him, like, I am highly allergic to them, like death, and I don't have my EpiPen with me. So, because who has a chinchilla anymore? I haven't seen one in probably like 15 years. Yeah. So I wonder why I couldn't breathe. And I'm like, oh, I go outside, there's bees flying. I'm like, great, I'm going to get stung by a bee. And it had the same exact reaction. And I'm just like, this is like the night from hell, because everything went wrong that night. But they didn't care. And again, I didn't see her comment on Facebook at all. Actually, Hammy told me about it. Hammy said, hey, listen, I saw on the live that somebody said they had rabbits there. And it was days later. And then when I wrote
you didn't read my comment out loud or anything. Like, and I was just watching, and I had no intention on commenting. I usually don't. So I was just watching, like, enjoying the investigation. And then I heard that question be asked. And I was like, oh, well, I should let them know if they're hearing thumping, because we were specifically told if you hear, like, up in that area, could be the rabbits. They're in cages, but if you hear any thumping, it could be them.
Yeah. And I wasn't up there when they heard it. Well, Hammy did say, I hear something banging upstairs. Yeah. So, but I didn't read the comment because I would have read it out loud and said it to him. So I didn't even see it. And, it took me, Boston, I still can't find the comment on my screen. You had to send it to me.
I sent you the recording and everything.
Yeah, I don't understand why I didn't see, but I didn't see it at the time they're live either. So,
it hides people sometimes, I think, like randomly. I know I'm looking at Chris's face. I have a feeling he wants to wrap this up.
Yeah,
we were like
we're going to wrap
3
up.
hours. 3 hours in.
But, is this your longest show?
No, we've done longer, but it's up there.
Channel, it's up there. We're gonna have to make a new thumbnail because we didn't talk about TransWorld.
I'll make a new thumbnail. But before we go, Mary Jo, have you announced publicly when you're gonna speak out, or?
Right, for anyone that maybe wants to follow.
But it's going to be what I was planning on doing is doing the video, everything it's not going to be fast because I can't make it fast to show that my evidence compared to his. But the video is going to be, it's probably have it Sunday morning on my YouTube and then come on a live like 3 or 4 hours later, and I'll say what time. This way, if anybody has any questions, talk to me, and I'm squashing this shit. I don't want to talk about it. Don't send me any screenshots. My lawyers are going to take care of it because I am so done. Because I didn't say nothing for the longest time until, Eric Vitale's posts were coming up constantly, and that was his little, I guess, wall to shit talk me because he didn't want to do it on his wall, but then he started doing it on his wall. So, but yeah, I want him to stop lying because I'm going to prove it that he's a big liar and he's really put his foot in his mouth. He should have shut up and moved on, but he didn't. You know?
Right. It's like shocking that it's still going on. It's crazy.
Yeah. For what? And again, I really feel that I pissed him off, and this is where I feel that I would not say his house was haunted, and that's what he wanted. He wanted me to say his house was haunted, and I refused to say it.
He asked,
and I'm sorry.
Said, what evidence did you get? Can you send me your evidence? You're like, we don't have any. And he was like, yeah, you do. Like, what? So do you mind if we share what your YouTube is for people that might want to follow along in the story and watch that?
Yeah.
Okay. I promise we're not all crazy over here. Is it just Pen Paranormal?
Yeah, I think it might. Yeah, I think it's Pen Paranormal. You'll see that little ghost on it if you see that one.
And then
I don't use my YouTube very much.
We'll also do a post on Sunday to remind people to go watch too.
Yeah, just for I mean, because I think there's a lot of people that actually did stick around and now they're invested. Pen Paranormal with a little ghost and it's red writing. I assume this is you. Yeah, there you are. You're adorable. Yep, this is you. Oops. I think you're absolutely gorgeous, by the way. So.
Oh, thank you.
Well, that's why I'm your boyfriend.
Me, my new boyfriend.
How do I share?
You just drop it in the comments.
Copy.
Just like you're making a comment.
Paste. That should
Look
be
at you
it.
go. Look at you go.
All right, guys. Nice talking to you.
Nice to talk to you, Joe.
Nice to talk to
I know,
everybody. Haven't seen everybody in a while. It's crazy, right? Weddings and funerals.
Oh yeah, and much more. We've been insane over here, thanks to him. And who am I pointing at? Thanks to Chris. Just nonstop. Stop. We've got a little bully. Oh, we got the cute little bully.
Cute little bully.
We do have we have 2 cute little bullies that we deal with. So this is nothing. We got this. We got your backs. It was just time to stand up together, I think.
I agree.
And I'm glad you all joined.
Well, I think when people see the video, they'll be like, holy shit. And I think that's what's going to happen. And he's going to be really mad, but he should have thought about that before he made up all these stupid stories. I mean, they're all stories.
It always comes out.
I can't wait to see what you put out. So that's going to be good. So thank you guys all for coming on. Thank you, chat, for being here with us tonight. And everybody have a good night.
All right, folks. Have a good night.